Shut up, listen up, everybody, what up? Gonna put it in a podcast, boost, what's up? We talk, we laugh, we sing, we dance, we'll do anything if you give us a chance. We'll play one time, it'll help us out. All truth, no lies, no, it's never a doubt. If you like rants, tirades, and honest opinions, we shoot from the hip and we're here with precision. Give us one chance to play Opinion Bros podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Los Piñas Bros. Or Los Piña Bros?
I hope you would know.
Yeah. We're here today joined by...
Special guest star.
Christian.
A little bit louder?
My bad. Chris.
That was too loud.
Jesus Christ.
Alberto 333.
Mr. Piña Zombie, I'm back.
Yeah.
The once and future at least.
Yeah.
Talking about loud.
I don't want it.
You know nothing.
Yeah. So, this is way overdue. We're pretty late on the subject, but we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones.
Not House of the Dragon, which everyone keeps asking me when I say I'm watching Game of Thrones. Just
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. That's why I said Game of Thrones.
And why are we talking about Game of Thrones?
I just finished watching it for the first time. And, well, I guess Christian's on the computer right now, and he's going to go through the tomato meter on seasons. So we're going to say yay or nay if we agree.
All right, so we're going to start off with Game of Thrones Season 1, Sean Bean special.
Let's go.
Tomato meter percentage, 90%.
That's good.
Audience score, 96%.
That's good. Take away 4% from the 100 because Sean Bean dies.
But he has to.
They know he has to, but they still killed him off, so that's why you got to take away some points.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, I remember when I first watched this season, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't care about any of these characters. There are too many characters, but I ended up really, really liking the season as it progressed.
Yeah, when I first saw the season, I didn't watch it when it was on HBO. We didn't have HBO at the time, but we were watching it. I was watching it with my brother and my dad, and we got to episode 9, which is the penultimate episode, and I remember them killing off Sean Bean, and I'm like, yep, I'm done. Show's over. I'm not watching this. And they're like, what do you mean there's one more episode? And I just walked away. I'm like, that's done. And that's the last time I saw Game of Thrones until, 2 weeks ago.
Sorry.
No.
I remember badgering Alex all the time. You got to watch this show, It's not just about it being, to me, it's a good show, but up until the end. But it was more so about living in a period of time as like a community with the world. Like we're all watching this at home together. It's like we're all watching this big movie instead of being like at the movie theaters. Maybe it was a precursor to fucking COVID. Who knows? But yeah, I remember badgering Alex, and then just finally he powered through.
I mean, it was a huge thing. You saying that huge. I mean, everyone was watching and participating in what's gonna happen, what's this or that, and very few times I think shows are able to do that and do it well, but I wasn't there when that was happening because I think
You
I
caught
had
up
borrowed
season 4, no?
yeah I had a few seasons to catch up on, and I watched it when it was released on home video, but yeah, I agree. First season, and we had kind of talked about this a couple days ago. Is season 1 the best? Just because so. it introduces everything. There's so much mystery, and it's almost like it could be its own story already from beginning to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost I think I'd say it's a perfect season because it starts off kind of just it's a mass overload of information about characters and stuff. And then as the season progresses, you're like, yeah, you know what? I like this guy or I hate this guy. These guys are cool. And it all builds up. The last 3 episodes, it just builds and builds and builds to the point that you gasp when they take away Sean Bean because it's he's the main character. How are you? What?
Yeah.
How are you going to kill the main character off? You're cheering for him because he's the most honorable character in the show. He's the only one that has all the qualities of a good person, and he dies, and you're like, whoa, holy shit, who are we gonna follow? why, like, and you feel the way his family feels.
See, yeah,
which
I was
is
gonna say that. Yeah.
that's what makes it perfect, because you might not like the Starks. The Starks might be outsiders and everything like that, but when Sean Bean dies, you feel the way Arya feels, and like, nah, we need to kill all of these pieces of shits. Like, they can't get away with this.
See, I was gonna say, like, he's not killed off in a battle, you know, honoring his, fighting for somebody or whatever. He dies because he got screwed over.
Yeah, he kind of loses half of his honor too, because like you see him for being honorable always, and then at the end, Sansa's like, just tell them that it was your fault. Tell them that you were lying. Tell them that you're responsible for treason. And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. One of the coolest lines he says to Lord Varys in there is like, you think my life's something precious to me? Like, I can lose that. I'd rather keep my honor. And Lord Varys is like, yeah, but you're leaving your kids without a dad. And he's like, shit. All right, I'll bend the knee then. He does, and they take his head for it.
Yeah, that's...
And I think that's a really interesting way to not only end a season, but set in motion everything else, but also like set the precedent, like you guys were talking about. He's such an honorable character, where in this show, in that world, it doesn't really matter.
It pays to be dishonorable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that sets a lot of the other characters and things up perfectly, because it's like, here, he's your prototypical, like, good guy, goody two shoes, and like, if you just do the right thing, you know, everything will be fine. And in real life and that world it's not like that. You know, you're gonna get, you know, decapitated sometimes.
Yeah. You're gonna lose
heads
your
will roll.
Yeah.
You know? But the also back to the season 1, like, as a whole, I feel like for me, if season 1 ended, right, and there was no more Game of Thrones, it's one of those shows or seasons that I'd be so disappointed, just because they set that season up so well, in the sense that they set up so many storylines, and there's like this mystique, like freshness and wonder, where it's like, I wonder where this character can go.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen in this character's life. You know, like, there's so many
Overarching
and avenues of stories and characters overlapping that it's like, you just start, it's like when you're a little kid and you start imagining what these characters could be like, you know, what are they going to go through, and it's just perfect.
Yeah, it definitely, like, it opens the mind. Like, the thing about this is, this came out when nothing kind of out was like nothing out there was out like this. Maybe like Vikings, which I love that show. There's one season that is like 20 episodes of garbage, but I think that show's superior to Game of Thrones. But there's nothing that, like, this pulls you into a beautiful world, even if you don't like the characters and stuff, or don't like the show as much. The world building in this show is fantastic. You learning about the North is this cold place, but then there's a northern North, which is the Wildling area. And then you have, like, Castlery Rock, you have King's Landing, you have the Iron Islands, you have all of these houses. I mean, one of the coolest episodes in season 1 is when Catelyn Stark kidnaps Tyrion Lannister. Like, he has no idea what's going on, but they blame the attempted murder of, like, Bran on Tyrion. And then she, like, stands up in the middle of a bar and she's like, you pledged your sword to Stark. You pledged your sword to the North. Like, you pledged to us. And then they all pull out their swords and they all, like, tell Tyrion, like, you're coming with us. That's one of the coolest, like, scenes in that show.
Yeah. And then, like, in episode 7, I'm just reading on here, I totally forgot, this is the season as well where Jon takes his vows in the the White Watch, you know, or the Night's Watch, sorry. You know, what are these men doing?
Yeah.
Because I never read any of the books, you know, so it's like, what are these men doing in this tower? Why did all the snows get sent over here? Like, what's the whole purpose of defending a wall, you know, of snow? Like, and just, again, your mind just starts spinning. All right, so you guys, we cap it at that.
Yep.
Probably the best episode, if not, you know.
Yeah, I love that season. I think that's a perfect season.
All right,
perfect.
Let's move on to season 2. So Game of Thrones season 2, tomato meter, 96%. Certified fresh. Audience score rating, 96% as well. So critics and users
Both agree.
Both
yeah.
agree perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, I haven't watched Game of Thrones in a long time, so I don't really remember what season 2 is. Yeah, I mean, I don't. But you watched it recently, so
Yeah,
what
I
do you-
mean, from what I remember season 2 being the worst season. I don't know. I mean, again, yeah, I watched it all. I binge watched it all, so it's like, I don't know. But I remember this one being the season where, season 1 ends with Jon Snow saying, "We need to go beyond the wall because I know nothing since I am Jon Snow," and they go beyond the wall, and then he gets into like a tussle with this wildling, which is his real life wife, and she's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
But like his whole arc is, I'm beyond the wall. I'm chasing her. Oh, she escaped. I'm chasing her. Oh, she escaped. Oh, I'm chasing. And that's his whole arc. And it's like, for real, that's what you did? I think Arya Stark in this season, she gets, the guy from the Night's Watch picks her up. And then he's like, I'm taking you to the Night's Watch because your brother's there. He ends up dying. And then she's hanging out with Gendry Baratheon, Pie Maker or something, Hot Pie or something.
Podrick.
No, not Podrick.
Podrick?
No, this is a baker guy who like he makes pies. He's a little chubby kid. He tries to make her like a wolf
The
bread.
pie kid,
And it was just like nothing happened. Everyone started where they stopped. I think the best thing that happened in this season is this is the first time where we see Tyrion as the Hand, and I'll say Tyrion, whenever he's the Hand, he shines. He's awesome as that. He knows how to like wordplay. His political nature is amazing. He knows what he's dealing with, and it's all betrayals and cutthroats, and that's awesome.
I mean, yeah, him, I think, yeah, I remember him being great all the time. He was one of my favorite characters, and I always felt bad. Like, everyone treated him like shit, but he was always the smart one. He was kind, like, he was loyal. But yet he still gets treated like shit. But I really liked his character. Again, I don't remember what exactly happened.
So I'm reading a little bit of this, and apparently, so this is the season where Jon goes beyond the wall. He gets lost over there with the wildlife. But
this is the Battle of Blackwater, is it?
Yep, and it's the whole Stannis Baratheons fighting at King's Landing and stuff like that. So...
Okay, so yeah, that... Stannis Baratheon, he's cool. The best thing to come out of Stannis Baratheon's like arc, I think, is getting probably one of the most MVPest characters in the show, Sir Bravos.
Oh yeah,
fingerless guy. Well, what I gotta tell you is, we gotta get things done.
Yeah,
badass dude.
He's cool.
He's honorable-ish. Like he was a smuggler, and I know like Ned Stark would frown upon a smuggler, but he paid for what he did by losing his fingers, and I think if he were to meet Ned Stark, he's the next most honorable character in the entire show.
We also get to see a lot of Melisandre in this one.
Who's that? The stupid lady in
the
red?
The lady
I
in
hate
red?
her.
What do you mean?
She's
she
annoying
carries
as hell.
that too. I mean, that's her point.
She's
a creepy old witch lady with the youth necklace. Like, that's freaky as hell.
I hate her.
She causes the assassination of Stannis' brother.
Yeah, what's
she
his
sends
name?
the evil spirit.
He has a cool name too, I think. His brother. But the dude who's smashing Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Renly Baratheon.
Renly Baratheon.
See, that was interesting, but I'll say I might be like in the minority here, and that's fine because I'm usually in the minority. But since I'm Mexican, but Stannis or Sir Bravos takes Melisandre, the lady in red, to like this stupid ass alcove, and then she's like, I'm giving birth. And then she gives birth to a Shadow Man, and not the video game from PlayStation 1, but a Shadow Man in the form of Stannis Baratheon, and then he stabs Renly in the heart and he dies.
Well, that was the purpose of it, though. She got impregnated
by him
in order to sacrifice it to become a shadow,
something
shadow
like
being to assassinate.
But I thought like that, all that magic. To me was like, yo, wait, what? Like, I wasn't expecting this show to be super magical, fantastical.
I mean...
I wasn't expecting... So, to me, it kind of took me out of it. Because then I'm like, well, why doesn't he just kill Joffrey? Why doesn't he just do this again and kill this person? And maybe there's a real reason, but they never specify any of it. So, I was like, why don't you just kill every one of your enemies this way? And you'd be fine. But on that note,
Her magic meter was low.
yeah, I mean,
Couldn't
she
find
must
any
have.
more
Her
mana.
mana.
Yeah, she must have been. But on that note, we get two of the best characters in this season. Then we get Sir Bravos, and we get Lady Brienne of Toth. Badass.
Let's jump to season 3.
Okay. All right. So,
Season 3.
Game of Thrones season 3, 96% tomato meter, certified fresh, with an audience score of 97%. So the audience think this season's better than the critics still. I mean,
I don't even remember which one this one
There's a
is.
dragon on the
There's a
cover.
dragon
A
on
shadow
the
of a
cover,
dragon.
The shadow of it. The shadow. It's better than a dragon.
Jon, first episode, Jon is brought before the king beyond the wall. Tyrion asks for his reward. Littlefinger offers Sansa a way out. So he's already coming into play heavily. Cersei hosts a dinner for the royal family. Daenerys sails into Slaver's Bay.
Oh, so she goes into Slaver's Bay for the first time in that season?
Mhm.
So that's when she finally starts taking control, and this is when I hate Daenerys.
It slows down a lot there, no?
Wait, does
Because
Dra-
she just settles
She-
in that city, and it's like, ugh.
She's aimless for a while, yeah.
Well, she goes to a couple of cities in there, and that's why I hate it, because she goes to one city, and it's the Unsullied city or whatever. So the guy's like, "You're gonna offer me a dragon? Okay, I'll give you all my Unsullied." And then she's like, "You can have it for now." And then the dragon's like, "I don't like you," and he kills that guy. And she's like, "Now I'm taking all of your Unsullied." But she just goes from like town to town this season in Slaver's Bay. She keeps going from one town to another town to another town, and all she does is she kidnaps, or no, she frees all the slaves in Slaver's Bay, and they all say, "You are the mother of dragons, we'll follow you." And it's just so very video game like, in like a bad way, where it's like, "Oh, I come to this town, I kill the main bad guy, so now all of them will follow me. I'm going to the next town, I kill the bad guy." No, so
Clearing
now-
each outpost.
yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah, you cleared an outpost, now all your people are there. So it's like, that's lame as hell to me.
yeah, this one's looking like it's one of the more...
Uh,
Like they had to set stuff up again.
you know who comes out in here, I think that's a really good character, is, I forgot what the hell his name is, but because they all have the same name. No, it's like Jonas Drodardarsh, and he's a man has no name. A man is a man who kills another man.
Yeah, in episode...
Or he might be in season 2, I don't know.
No, he's in this season. She's taken to...
The house. of
Arya
Black
encounters a
and
Brotherhood without banners. Oh, no, that's not.
Oh, so yeah, he comes out in season 2, so yeah, he's not even... Brotherhood Without Banners is the guy with the eye patch,
Right.
who keeps getting brought back to life with the flaming sword.
That guy's awesome.
That guy's pretty cool. Yeah, so she's here this season. She's still traveling, she's just hanging out with the Brotherhood. Oh, the Hound should be coming here.
Yeah,
Because,
it said right there, yeah, the
he-
Hound is judged by the gods.
The guy.
Yeah, he fights the Brotherhood and no banners. Oh, so season 2, that's when the Hound gets great play, because that's when he's like, "Fuck the king! Fuck this
Oh,
place!"
yeah.
And then and they're like, "You can't leave." He's like, "Fuck you too!" And he just leaves. That's
Yarp.
awesome. Yeah, Yarp from, what is it?
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz? Yeah, awesome.
Yarp.
The Hound is one of the coolest characters too, for
Yeah.
sure. And his makeup is still good in this season.
Yeah, they still had a
They-
good makeup artist for that.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys decided to make his makeup worse and worse each season, but it was still pretty good at this point.
It was noticeable, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It was noticeable.
I looked at you guys like, wow. It was even more noticeable than that character change you had in Slaver's Bay, where that guy, I don't even know his name. But
Yeah,
you-
Ken. Or I don't know.
yeah, that guy, the guy who's supposed to be quick as hell. This
yeah.
guy.
He was like completely blonde with long hair, and then he turns into a brown-haired dude.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. He's from Treme and The Invitation.
Like the
and
original
stuff.
guy, and then they switch him off.
Yeah,
for
the
next
original
season.
guy looks like a
Yeah.
Barbie
Surfer
Ken
dude.
doll, and he's like very strong. He's like, "I know how to talk. I am good and fast." And then the next season, "Yes, princess, I know exactly what you want." Okay, what?
Yeah.
I think they made that up on the spot. They're
I
like,
mean-
no face, fine. you know? All right, let's move on to the next season.
Season.
Season 4.
Season Quattro. One of the best seasons.
The
for
critics gave this a 97% tomato meter, and the audience score equaled it to 97% as well.
sure. One of the best seasons, hand down. hands down. This is the season where the Mountain fights the Viper. Pedro
Yep.
Pascal, let's go.
Phenomenal.
I have this one memorized. Season 4, episode 6 is one of the best seasons. Because the last 15 minutes of this episode is just Tyrion talking to Cersei, Tywin Lannister about, like, they're all trying to blame him for the death of Joffrey. And he's like, why is everyone against me? And then the person that he loves, that, foreign chick,
Oh, yeah.
she comes up.
Prostitute.
And then she's like, yeah, it was him. He forced me to call him my lion and all this bullshit. And you just see Tyrion's, like, heart just breaks. He turns around to see, like, the audience. He's like, you know what? Screw all of you. Like, I fought at the Battle of Blackwater. I wish I didn't. I wish you all died. I'm guilty of saving you pathetic, low-life assholes. And it's like, damn, awesome, badass. You tell them how it's done. That's when it shines too. This show shines when you just take your time on a character and you let that character breathe for 10 minutes. When you focus on one character, do a character study on that person, this show's phenomenal. But when you're cutting through every single character, I tend to not give a shit. But yeah, I mean, you guys could. This is the same one where the Viper fights the Mountain. I mean, you guys could talk about. I know you guys love that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching that and just thinking like, oh, he's gonna die. But then he starts kicking. The Viper kicks the Mountain's ass. Like he's gonna do it. He's gonna kill him, and it's gonna turn this whole show around. But no, he messed up, and the Mountain gets him, and not only does he get him, but he kills him in one of the most brutal ways, by crushing his skull. And it's like, and they show a lot of it. I was stunned, and Katrina always makes fun of me because she's like, oh, you like to watch all those gory movies like Saw and stuff, and that never gets to you. This got to me. And I don't know if it's because it was a good guy and he was trying to, do some good, protect Tyrion, and, he had a family, and, he's on the side of good, and he dies brutally,
All the good people die.
So yeah, he was in the show for what, a little bit, like a few episodes?
4 episodes,
and he already established himself as a great character and someone I was rooting for, and he dies.
Yeah, he was stealing the show.
Yeah.
Especially like someone of, and not to make it like that, but he's like someone of color, and the entire
No, you
show,
can make it about that.
Like-
What do you mean he's all... Yeah.
Like what the only colored other person we got was not Draco, but what's his name? The Dothraki.
Khal
Drogo?
Khal
Aquaman.
Drogo. Aquaman,
The-
basically. And
Where
then
is he from?
he got poisoned.
Some cool place, no?
Yeah, I forgot. the
Yeah,
name.
but yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, to see someone of Dorne, people of color, like, because that's typically people of color.
Yeah.
And to see him just right off the bat steal the show, and they're like, okay. And then not only do we as the audience, like, get enamored with him, but, like, one of the most evil people in the show who you hate so much, Cersei,
Yeah.
is enamored with this guy. Like, that's how cool this guy is, It's like, dang, like, this guy's got some pull. And then
Yeah, no, he's cool.
and then it ends with the tie. Because he does poison him, right?
He does.
Dying.
Yeah, he was gonna die, but... Well, okay, I'll ask this question, because this is what both of you guys said, and I was expecting that to happen, and I don't think it did, but both of you guys said with that fight, he got too cocky, and that's why he died.
Yeah, I felt like he did.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching it a couple days ago, and he did, because he could have kept going. Of course, I'm forgetting what exactly happened again, but he had him on the ropes, and he could have kept going, but because he made it a point to bring up, like, this is what you did,
Yeah.
Mountain, and you did this, and you did, instead of like, yeah, I know you had to state kind of your revenge, because you've been working your whole life
You might want to mute that.
It's muted.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You guys can't hear it.
but he made it a point. You did this, you did that, and
You
then
raped
doing
her!
so, yeah.
You murdered her! Confess! No, that's awesome. Like,
I mean, it is, but sometimes you just need to strike the blow.
You need a
See,
double tap.
I
Zombie
don't
land.
agree. I don't agree. Like, I think even in the show, Cersei says that. She says that later, and she's like, the Viper had him. He was done. And he got too cocky. And that's what killed him. Like, I think, dude, like, he had him down. He wasn't going to kill him because he needs him to confess in order to kill him. But he said it since the beginning. I'll make you confess before I kill you.
Who's that for? Like, is it?
It's not. See, I don't think it's for him only. Sure, it's for him, but it's for Cersei. It's for Jaime. It's for everyone who stood by and watched it happen. It's for the entire audience in the back that knows, you know what? Your mountain that you hail and think is the best is a piece of shit. And he needs to say that on his knees to everyone.
What I mean, but I don't think that makes sense. But I don't think that applies to this type of trial by combat because they did this all the time back in the day. And I don't know if you guys seen recently that movie with Matt Damon,
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. None of that matters. What you say doesn't matter. What matters at the end of the day is who won and who lost.
Yeah.
And if the Viper would have won, his honor would have been restored. He doesn't. I think at the end of the day,
I don't think his honor was ever lost, though. I don't think it was lost.
Well, like in the sense
what
of
he was fighting for.
what he was fighting for, he doesn't need
his sister,
for them
right?
to know. It wouldn't have mattered as long as he had won. His point would have gotten across. To
his
else.
word would have been true.
I don't
even
think
if,
so.
like,
But that's how these duels are. Like that's just a different time.
But no, but I think like the duel right now, even if you won, the duel would have been, you know what, Tyrion's right. He's who's right. So I think like him being from Dorne, being like shut out as a person from Dorne, he needs to make this duel about him, and this is how he does it. This is how he gets his stage. Because if he didn't have this as a stage, he wouldn't have it any other place. It's not like anyone's going to say, hey, you know what? You from Dorne, go ahead and tell the world what's up. No one would give him the time of day. So this is the only time he has to do that. So he needs to make it matter. And that's the way he makes it matter the most.
Well, I mean, either way, the Mountain wouldn't have said it. I mean, he could have just said.
But the Mountain did say it, even when he killed him. He said it.
He did say it?
Yeah. He's like, I did rape her, and I did murder her, and I crushed her skull in just like this. And then he kills him.
Oh.
So, even if he lost, I think, like, everyone knows the Mount's a piece of shit.
I mean, I don't know.
I would have rather had him live, for sure.
I see your point.
I'm just saying, he got what he needed. Even if he's dead, he got what he needed.
I see your point, but either way, I think his sister would have wanted him to live.
I mean, I would have wanted him to live. I think everyone would have wanted him to live. But that's their point, is the most honorable people get it.
Right.
And, you know, you told me that he killed him this way, but way back when, before, so I knew he was going to lose. So it wasn't that much of a surprise, but what I thought, because I had it in my head a whole different way, and I think in my head it was a lot worse. Because in my head, for some reason, I didn't know who the Viper was. I didn't know it was Pedro Pascal. But, okay, so, yeah, he's about to pop his head.
His teeth out.
Yeah, with one punch.
That's what I'm saying. It's fucking brutal. He lifts him.
Yeah, just by his head.
Yeah, he lifts him, knocks out his teeth, screaming in horror, and then they show his
Side by
crushed
side.
skull.
So when I heard you say that he popped his head, what I thought he did in my head for some reason, he was wearing a whole like helmet, and I thought that he popped his head through the helmet, and you just saw like an eyeball fly out of the helmet. Yeah. So I was like, damn, imagine someone crushing someone's metal helmet just and seeing an eyeball come out. Like, that to me sounds more brutal.
Yeah.
And I think I visualized it more. So when I saw it here, I was like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, goddamn, you guys killed Mandalorian, but it's cool. He did Mandalorian right ever. So this is one of the best seasons for sure.
All right.
Well, on that note, we'll be taking a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back on our Game of Thrones series overview. We're joined by
Mr. Pina Zombie
and
Chris
and a Blue Moon.
Yeah, it's not just any Blue Moon, is it?
It's a mango wheat Blue Moon. So if you want to sponsor us, Blue Moon,
we're here.
Feel free.
Yeah, we're on Twitter. We're maybe on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, just find us, please. Sponsor us.
Los Pina Bros.
Yeah. And what's our next season where we're going to talk about? 5?
So we're on season 5, Game of Thrones. The tomato meter for this one's 93% and a 90% audience score. So it's starting to lose some steam finally.
Still fresh, but it went down.
Yeah.
Still fresh, but it's gonna get cold or spoil real soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, read some of them.
I guess the first part is Cersei and Jaime adjust to a world without Tywin. So I guess he's clapped.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh, so last season, real quick, yeah, Tywin eats it on the shitter, which is one of the craziest, like, moments, because it's like, Tywin's a big dude, like, he's tall as hell, he's threatening, he's imposing.
Right from the get-go, he demands attention.
Yeah, like, I say this all the time, he steals and commands a scene whenever he's there. The first thing he does in season 1, he's butchering a deer in front of Jaime Lannister, and he's like, God damn, my children are such idiots. And it's like, damn, yeah, Tywin, even the name.
The name sounds,
What a beast.
I'm gonna name all my children Tywin.
Yeah, like, and like, yeah, he eats it on the shitter, like.
What a pathetic way to go.
Yeah, he didn't think he was gonna die. Like, there's no way he thinks he's gonna die. He's the best, and he eats it.
And not by, like, a villain, an enemy, someone, no, his own son.
Yeah. Much deserved.
Yeah, I mean, his own son who's a joke, who was probably a joke to him and to everybody, and you know what? Yeah, you're gonna die on the toilet. Sorry, guys, this is how you're going down in the history books.
Yeah, they talk about it all season long. Yeah, season 4 is great, because they talk about it all season long where Tyrion tells Tywin, like, why do you hate me so much? He's like, you killed your own mother.
Oh,
Look at what you are. And he's like, you just hate me because I'm a dwarf. That's the only like, I've never done anything against you. And he's like, yeah, because you're a monster. You're a constant reminder of how much of a disgusting thing you are. I shouldn't have given birth to something like you. Like, that's insane. So he eats it the way he needs to eat it. On the shitter by Tyrion, and that's awesome. Tyrion is...
With a crossbow.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrion is great. I also think he should have died that season. I think he lived way too long. Tyrion is one of my favorite characters, but he should have died. I think he should have died.
I think in the books, he's alive till the end.
I think he should have died that season. Like, I think that would have been the perfect way to end it. Like, he kills his dad, and then, like, the Kingsguard sees him with the crossbow, and they kill him. Because you need to kill the heroes. He does something heroic, kill him. Like, that's how this world works. That's how it should work. It's an unpleasant place where only the, like, ne'er-be-wellers survive.
Patricide. He killed his dad. I mean, either
Patricide.
way. Patricide, there you go. Either way, it's
bad, but I feel like he needed to eat it. Because this is also when I think he starts becoming lame as shit.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier. He was one of my favorite characters, but once he leaves King's Landing, he starts losing it. I don't know. You had made a good point that he's very political, and he that's where his smarts are. So when he started, like, commanding or telling Daenerys how to military type strategy, it didn't work out, and that is a good point. But man, like, I would think that he would still know what to do, but man, he just seemed in general like he really got lowered. You know,
Yeah.
like he got kind of
Got
dumb.
nerfed.
I like, in every single sense of the word, because he's also the one who's very pragmatic about everything. He doesn't believe what does he talk about the things north of the wall? He's like, there's no such thing as White Walkers, called Grumpkins and blah blah blah. But then he becomes instantaneously enamored with Daenerys.
Yeah.
Without any backstory or anything at all. He's just like, yeah, she's my queen. Why?
because of prophecy.
But he's not one of those people. He doesn't believe in stuff like that. So that's what got me to, like, this season he's a drunkard, and he's like, I hate everything. I was stuck in a box for a year, and it's like, and it's just like, and then
shipped FedEx or something.
Yeah, like UPS ground.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he just instantaneously becomes enamored with Daenerys. We get a little cool scene in this one, a little cool arc, because we get Batman. What's his name?
I don't know his
Dr.
name.
Isaacs.
Yeah.
Sir
great.
Jorah Mormont.
He's another one that I always like. You know,
Yeah.
I like that actor a lot.
He's great. Marcella calls him friend zoned because he's always trying to go with Daenerys. But he kidnaps Tyrion this season, and then they go through old Valeria, and that's where you see the stone skinned people. That's cool. That's badass.
That was a
Dragon
cool
skill,
sequence.
yeah, that's awesome.
Didn't Stannis' daughter have that?
I was just about to.
Yeah,
ask. That's
yeah.
what she had. Right?
I love that little girl too.
They
She's
were trying
awesome.
to take it
Yeah,
off. Huh?
she teaches that
Sir
dude
Devos
how to read, and he takes care of her.
They
and
have the
It's a great relationship. It, how you were saying, you know, he's next to Ned.
Ned
Or-
Stark. Yeah, Eddard.
with his honor and stuff, and it's like you don't see that anywhere else really. Like they're another family unit. It's not exactly his daughter, but you see that fatherly relationship and even
Yeah.
like that daughter relationship because her
Yeah.
real dad doesn't care at all, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Just a cast. Just throw away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or sickness.
there's 3 best father and daughter relationships in that show. That's Ned Stark with all of his family, because he's just badass. Sir Devos, the daughter, and then the Hound and Arya. And I don't even like Arya like that, but
yeah.
the Hound takes care of Arya like a goddamn beast.
Yeah. So what else?
don't know.
What's midway?
We have
like-
the Brienne and Hound fight in this one, no?
I'm reading a lot of this, and a lot of this seems like they're all journeys. Like
What's
everyone's trying to get
episode 9?
somewhere. Episode 9, The Dance of Dragons. Stannis faces a difficult decision. Jon returns to the Wall. Mace visits the Iron Bank. Arya encounters someone from her past. Dany oversees a celebration of athleticism. It's just like a lot of like people getting to places. Arya begins training. Jorah and Tyrion encounter slavers. Blah blah blah. Jaime and
Oh,
Bronn
so she's already in
reach
Bravos
destination,
already.
And Sand Snake's attack.
So that the season before this is probably where Brienne and the Hound fight. That's that one shot in that fight is.
Or is it? Maybe it's the
Yeah,
one after
we-
this one.
We watched that fight between Brienne and the Hound, and you know, I watching it like on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, like I was telling you right there, that fight sucked.
Season 4, episode 10.
Yeah.
But how you were explaining at the moment, I probably watched it. What was going on through my head was probably like, yeah, what's gonna happen? Every cut, every edit meant to like, is he gonna eat it? Is she gonna eat it?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, knowing what happens and rewatching the fight scene, it does suck. I think there are too many cuts and it just looks real bad, like that jumping the fence scene and taken. But that one shot you were talking about where the mountain falls over the cliffside, that's beautifully shot. Like they could have done that a number of ways, but they did it like that, how it's like an overhead shot of him falling off.
Yeah,
And it was beautifully done. The rest of the fight, not so much.
So going on that, like, I knew a lot of spoilers in this before I went in it. I didn't know how the Hound would die or how Brienne would die. So watching this fight, I was like, damn, who's gonna eat shit? and throughout the episode, it's very slow-paced episode until it gets here, and then there's a million cuts throughout the fight. And watching it now, it does suck. It is like, it's bad. But when you're watching it, you don't know who's gonna survive. You're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh,
Yeah.
did someone die? Did someone get cut? Hold on. That's how it feels when you're watching it for the first time. When you're watching it for the second time, it's a shit
Do
fight.
you think he kind of threw this fight as well?
Because
like
she's a girl?
No, because he wants.
To give up.
So what, Brianna?
He wants
Fucking
to
tough.
get Arya.
Yeah.
I think he wants to
Oh,
get rid of
yeah.
Arya without giving
Yeah.
rid of her. Like, I think he knows.
I won't
Arya-
make it easy, but
Yeah, here's the girl because I think he knows she's better off with.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
so
think
because
so either.
one of the lines in here, she's like, I'm trying to get her to safety, and he's like, safety? Where's that? Her father's dead. Her brother's dead. Her mother's dead. Her kingdom has been taken from her. Where the fuck is safety? If you think there's safety, then you're the one that doesn't know how to fucking protect her, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, dog, you a hound. It's awesome.
I mean, he doesn't have to make it easy for her either. I think
But I think he just doesn't think he can protect her because she's too knightly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think? But okay, so she might not be able to protect her, but I feel like he knows he can't either. I feel like he.
I'm gonna disagree just because of that part because he saw how Brienne Brienne struggled. I mean, not struggled, but she thought, you know what, like, I'm not gonna kill you, Neil. Like, I don't want to kill you, but he was like, that's not gonna cut it in this world.
Right.
So obviously, you're not fit to protect her.
I think he's down to take her out, for sure. I think she gets lucky on a number of occasions in this fight, but not that she's not good to fight, because I think she's a badass fighter. But yeah, like I don't think he threw this fight at all. I don't think at all he threw this fight.
No, I'm not saying threw it entirely, but at a certain moment.
Oh, look, here's the shot. Here's the shot. Here's the shot.
After she's proven herself,
right here, boom. Oh,
yeah, it's just a great looking cut. Just choreographed too.
Because it kind of cuts before he hits the ground too, so you're like, oh, it's that nasty. Everything about that is awesome. But even that, like, she's Lady Brienne, and she calls him, like, sir, and he's like, I'm not a goddamn knight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those pathetic losers. I'm a goddamn war. Like, he knows who he is, and he knows he's the only one that can protect.
This is the lady, just real quick. That's the lady
I don't remember her at all.
Yeah, she comes out and then, I mean, it even says they're abandoned plot lines. But, yeah, you know, I think the other thing that makes that fight intense is...
We haven't talked about that guy at all either.
Yeah, us as
One
the
of the best
viewer...
characters in the show.
Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But us as the viewer know that Brienne is a good guy. And we also know that, although the Hound is, like, dirty or whatever... He is a good guy as well. And now, because of misinformation and not really having every bit of information, they might kill each other. And it's two good guys going at it. You know?
That's what makes that scene amazing. Because you're rooting for both of them at that point, and you don't want any of them to... Because it's just misinformation. If there was a real reason to attack each other, by all means. But they don't know what the other knows, and that's what starts the fight. And that sucks.
Yeah.
Sansa sucks too.
Sansa.
Yeah, she's just a doormat throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
All right, let's
But she's Jean Grey.
We didn't even talk about this season. I don't even know what happened.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's literally people going to places.
It doesn't matter.
It's cyberpunk. It doesn't
You know
matter.
nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah. I don't want...
All right, season 6, tomato meter goes up a little bit, 94%. And the audience score, I think, remains or went up 1 percentage point to 93% compared to last season.
Season 6, I think this is a season where Arya gets stabbed like 30 times in the stomach, doesn't react, and then jumps into a river full of murky water.
She had a potato sack under there, so, you know, it protected her a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the whole three-eyed raven thing.
Oh, is this where the children come out for the first time?
So.
Yeah, you hated those wood children.
This is with Ramsay Bolton, too.
Oh, Ramsay Bolton's a beast. But the children, I think the children might have come out in the last episode of the season before this. It made me stop watching the show for a good, 5 days. Because the first time the children come out, there's these skeletons that come out of the ground. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Oh, shit, they're fighting skeletons. That's cool. And then what happens? This child comes out and starts throwing fireballs. Like she's Ryu throwing goddamn Hadoukens at people. And it looks terrible. It's moving in super fast motion, like they fast forwarded it on a VCR. Yeah. And you just she just starts throwing bombs and I'm like, se lo jalaron con esta. I don't know what they were thinking.
What's the translation of that?
They jerked themselves off to this bullshit. It was one of the worst things I had ever seen. And I'm like, nope.
So would you have been fine with it if they did it better? Because I remember talking to you, you were kind of against the more fantasy elements.
Yeah, like I said, I was against the fantasy elements with that, Shadow Stannis. Yeah. I didn't care for, I'm cool with the White Walkers or whatever the shit they're called, the skeletons, all that zombification. That's cool because they're still kind of
The
like
Draugrs.
humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm down with that.
Like they're a physical thing.
Yeah, and they were human at one time,
Yeah.
and now they became this. Even the stone skin, dragon scale people, they were human that got an infection, and it just a fantastical infection, but it's still just an infection.
Yeah.
These guys they're nymphs or something. Like they're the children.
Yeah.
And like they look terrible. The first time they came out, they looked terrible. And then we meet another idiotic character. Like, what's the Game of Thrones equivalent of Professor X? I know. An old man stuck in some tree roots. Yeah. And what does he do? I don't know. He talks to some little children and boys, and he's not a pedophile. That's their character.
So
Back to Melisandre's thing, I googled it. Apparently, she can't keep using Stannis' blood to do that, since he grows weaker every time she does it. That's the
Oh, wow.
caveat.
Oh, what a dumbass thing. Like, if you're gonna... Because then she kidnaps Gendry, and she tries to kill him.
Work. Yeah.
No, it does, but my boy Sir Devils is like,
Yeah.
you ain't killing nobody, ho. And then he takes Gendry out on a boat. And that's badass. 'cause
I'm on
Sir-
a boat.
Yeah.
This season's also where Arya trains to become no one.
Yeah, this is where she gets stabbed a million times. And yeah, I like when she's with that guy, because that guy's badass.
Like when she's fighting with the sticks.
Yeah, when she's blind as hell. If a girl tells me who she is, then a man will give her her eyes.
Mhm.
That was great. Like, it's cool. Like, damn. He took away her sight. There's a couple of cool things with that. I mean, that guy, again, I think he's a really great character.
Yeah,
I
he's a
like
great
that guy.
character, yeah.
He talks cool. He looks cool. He acts cool. He does everything right.
Well, this one's with Gilly.
Gilly should have been in it since a while ago,
For a
though.
while, I never liked that story arc with
Gilly and Sam.
Gilly and Sam. I didn't like that. I just found that real creepy. And the dad thing, I would have just if I
Oh
was
yeah,
Sam
yeah. That's
or John, I would just smoke that. Whole
He was trying.
dude.
He was trying, but Mormont's dad... You know the Lord Commander? The guy from the Citadel, the movie The Citadel? That's Sir Mormont's dad. Dude, they're like 5 years apart.
yeah, yeah.
That dude had Sir Mormont when he was in the womb.
Yup.
That was ridiculous, but whatever. I mean, that's neither here nor there.
They sped this up. So many.
Um,
The high sparrow considered.
Forgot all about all of that. There are so many pathways, so many characters, so many little relationships.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
This might be the same season
Yeah,
where
it's-
the Night King comes out and, like...
They show his origin.
The Night
He
King?
doesn't kill the dragon in this one.
No, I don't know about that. But I think it's the time the Night King comes out and then they're like... John tells the wildlings, like, you need to come over here.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they all come over, and then they're fighting all the Draugrs there, and then they escape on a little rowboat. And then one of the giants escapes by running through the
Oh,
water, but they
that's
never
awesome.
show him swim. So I don't know how he got out of
Yeah.
it. But
Poor
then you
guy.
see the Night King, he brings all of them up, and Jon Snow's not even like 5 feet away on the boat, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, Jon Snow. And he's like, you know nothing, Jon Snow. And Jon Snow could have just threw his goddamn Valerian sword at the Night King and killed him.
The White Claw? No, you can't.
The
Throw
Night
that.
King.
I know, but you can't throw the sword.
Yeah, you can. And kill him.
No, you
You can
lose
do
and
it.
you miss and you lose.
He's 5 feet away. I would have got off the boat and said, yeah.
Dude, that Night King is super strong, dude.
Dude,
guy
that
can
Night
toss
King-
a spear.
I'll tell you
Dude,
right
he
now.
tossed
Oh,
that
yeah, he
javelin
tossed-
like it was
that's
a
right, yeah.
it was a freaking cannon from a USS fucking Texas. Man.
Ask me
Dum-dum,
how
dum-dum.
many times he used the sword in the show.
He forgot it
Snow?
at
No,
home, and he's like,
the
I'm
Night
not
King.
going back. I'm not
Oh
going
no, I
back."
know, but what I'm saying is like
Yeah,
if Jon
he
Snow
could throw
would've thrown it-
javelins like a motherfucker.
No, I'm saying he
he
could've
can't fight
caught
for
it.
shit.
I'm saying he could have caught it or whatever he had thrown.
Then
it.
I would have just... He was 5 feet away from... If I were Jon Snow, like, you know what? You bring these guys back. Yeah.
Plus, you know, as Jon
Sha!
Snow, you don't even know if that
Wakasha!
would work. You know,
Dude, he could have killed... He
You
could have
don't
ended the
know.
war right there.
that's the king.
Ended the war right there.
I don't want to.
This one,
I don't want to... Yeah.
ends
I know nothing.
with Arya
I know nothing.
getting some long-awaited revenge. So the person who
That was
killed,
cool. That was cool.
who was that?
The dude from the librarian in Harry Potter, Walder Frey.
Walder Frey.
Um,
there you go.
because
smokes him.
yeah, that was a good scene
At the
because
house, right?
Yeah,
With
because
his
he's at the
family.
house and he's like eating. He's
Eating pie.
like, "Where are my sons?" And it's like, "They're right here." And then he slaps her ass because he keeps slapping everyone's ass.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Where? I don't see them." "They're right here, my lord." And then he's eating
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
sons.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm Arya Stark. Sha, waka sha.
She's got Tenorman him. You know what I'm talking
From
about?
where?
South Park.
Oh no, I don't know.
Cartman gets upset at this guy named Scott Tenorman and because Scott sold Cartman his pubes and he started putting them on as a beard or whatever. So
I should do that for Ruffle.
Yeah, he ends up getting revenge by having him eat his parents.
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad. I wasn't as happy as I should have been seeing Walder Frey die because I didn't like Walder Frey, but I was like, man, it took too long to get here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how's the little girl supposed to take him out?
I don't really care for her taking him out. I just wanted him to die.
I mean, she wanted to take him out.
Yeah, but she had a whole list. The Hound, Joffrey, Cersei, Walder Frey,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, and then she's like, you know what? My list is really short. I only got 2 people left. Well, you took too goddamn long, ho.
I mean,
What can I
she
tell
was
you?
a little kid. The
I don't
first
care.
episode, she was like
I-
legit.
she was.
You know what?
like 7, 8 years old.
You know what? I don't care.
Oh.
Because you know who commanded a scene right off the bat as soon as she came out?
Oh,
Was the
that-
little Mormon
Yeah,
child.
she got wrecked too.
She killed a goddamn giant though.
Barely.
But she was like,
Mara.
she comes
got
up,
wrecked.
she's nobody.
Oh,
She's
she
absolutely
talks way too much
nobody.
too. For what? She's like the girl in the House of Dragons. The little boy.
What little boy?
The little boy. What would you do for me when they're trying to wed Rhaenyra or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
What would you do for me if you were my
I'll
husband?
protect you.
I'll protect you. Your life will.
He
always
kills
be-
that one guy, though.
He's cool.
He killed that one guy.
Yeah,
He killed him.
All freaking cheap because that other guy sucked too.
But still, he killed someone
Yeah,
twice
he's
his age.
hesitate. You dishonor me, man. I'm gonna take you down.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
I'm
cool.
It's
What are you
cool.
gonna protect her from? She has a dragon. Let's go there, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Dude, I was
It
like,
was
let's
cool.
go.
It was cool, but that's
I got my
unrealistic.
sword.
Like him and the Mormon
I love
chick, they
that
got
chick.
wrecked.
I love that
I
shit.
just liked her because she was that her uncle was Jorah.
Jorah.
Yeah.
No, I think she's straight off the bat, she's like, why would I sacrifice my people for you? Alright, that's a good reason. Let's go then. Stop being little like that. She was cool as hell. She was cool as shit. I liked her a lot.
All right, let's skip.
King
to
of the
season
North. King of the
seven.
North.
Yeah, so this is where it starts getting wonky. Season 7 tomato meter of 93%, which is it's still pretty respectable. But then the audience score drops below
Yeah,
90
81.
to 81%.
I don't even know what really happened this season.
Let's see. Click on audience score. Will it give you?
Yeah, it'll tell you what people say. Silly, rushed, and terrible writing. Game of Thrones officially dies here. Thrilling visuals just cannot replace the heart, soul, and brain that the show has lost. It is painful to watch. This zombified husk of a beloved series gets puppeted around.
Damn.
Yeah, so the worst season, even worse than season 8. Anyone who says the ending discounted the horribly written tripe that preceded it, it's painfully obvious that the once brilliant show is now floundering. So I'm guessing this is the season with the Red Wedding. Ends
No,
with the
Red Wedding. Red Wedding season 2, bro.
Was it?
Yeah, that's early.
That's super early. That's why she wants to kill Walder Frey.
Oh, yeah, because he orchestrated all that.
Yeah.
What do top critics say?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Top critics.
They're all.
That's one of the
These
worst
are all
things in
good
season
ones.
2 as well, where it's like, Bron, Rob, you're the greatest king. You've never lost a battle. Well, show me him battle. Oh, last season also was Battle of the Bastards, right? With Ramsay Bolton versus Jon Snow.
It didn't say the title wasn't Battle of the Bastards, but it might be the Battle of the Bastards.
So that season was pretty cool with Battle. You like that season, Bethune, because that's the one where he climbs over all. Jon Snow's climbing over all the bodies.
Yeah,
in the war.
that was a great sequence. I think that whole thing. It's hard to remember all of that, but
That's
I'm
the
trying
same
to-
season where Rickon dies, because Rickon's like running towards Jon Snow.
Yo,
yeah,
this
that
season's
sucked
only
too.
like 5
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
8
damn.
episodes.
7 episodes.
Seven.
7. No wonder, just rushed.
It kept getting more expensive.
And the titles are even trash. Like the other season styles was like the laws of God and men, stuff like that. The Red Wedding. This one, Dragonstone, Stormborn, the Queen's Justice, the Spoils of War. Like this could be written
What's
by
like
any,
season?
third
Or what's like
grader.
episode 4 or 5 say?
4 is Cersei makes plans to expand her military. Arya arrives at Winterfell gates. Daenerys weighs her choices. Episode 5, Eastwatch. Daenerys offers a choice. Arya grows suspicious. Tyrion answers a good question.
Wow, these
Even the description.
So
of
this is the
episodes are
season
terrible.
where So this is the season where Arya rejoins her family. This is the season where Baelish dies. Littlefinger.
Lord Baelish.
Carcetti.
Yeah, Carcetti, Mayor Carcetti. Yeah, this season not a lot happens, but it's setting up for the next season, I suppose. But season before, we didn't talk about this. Theon Greyjoy gets tortured.
Meek.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Reek.
Reek.
Yeah. The season before this, whatchamacallit died.
I felt
too.
bad for him.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
I mean, he does so much to the Starks and slaps them, but like, he gets broken. But
Did I
Yeah,
give
he's
a shit?
literally tortured.
yeah, but I don't
mean,
think Ned
that's
would
fine.
want that. Even Ned would have been
Ned
like,
wouldn't want any type of torture.
No, but,
I'm
like-
not Ned.
No, but like I know, but Ned would be like, look, he like screw him.
He would have just cut off his head.
He would have been an asshole, but Ned would also be like, look, that's enough. It's okay. Ramsay goes way too freaking far. He breaks the man mentally, physically.
Doesn't he allow him to escape? And he's like, "Come with me." I
That's
know
the
where-"
first time he
Yeah,
gets him
oh,
tortured.
that's
yeah,
the first time
that's-
he ensnares him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, yeah, there's a lot of good scenes with that because then like he cuts off his penis, and then the next season, the next scene, he's eating a blood sausage,
yeah.
and then Theon's like, and it's like, it's not yours, you silly bastard. It's like that's awesome. Now Ramsay Bolton's a beast. He's good because you know what, the Ramsay Bolton I think is the best antagonist in the show because
After Cersei.
no, I'll say he's the best antagonist period because he tortures people. He's evil as shit. He's easy to hate. And he's ready to fight. He himself is ready to fight. He's down to fight. He's like, give me 20 of your best men and I'll take care of shit.
he's
Let
not
me
a
lead the
wimp.
battle of the bastards.
He shoots the arrow too that kills one of the Starks.
that kills Rickon. Yeah,
Oh, he does that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
like,
him.
let's play a little game. You run to your brother, and you see if you can outrun my arrows. And he just starts shooting him, and he's not even, like, pissed off at the way she's like, yeah, okay, let's try again. Let's try. He's so nonchalant about death that he's badass about it. And also, his girlfriend in the show is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
You mean Sansa?
No, it's the Hound Keeper's daughter. She's gorgeous.
The Hound Keeper's daughter?
Yeah, because I guess the Hound Keeper is the one that keeps all the dogs.
Oh, I thought you meant like the Hound.
Oh, no, not
Yeah.
Sir Clegane.
Clegane.
Yeah, no.
Game Bowl.
Clegane Bowl?
Yeah, that's next season. That's the last season. You know, I mean, I remember hating this guy so much that I think he came out in a movie maybe a couple years after this, or he
That
he
guy's
was
cool too.
Oh yeah, that Wildling guy. He came out on the cover of a movie, like some World War II movie or something, and he's one of the good guys. And just looking at his face upset me.
He
I
looks
was
just like my coworker.
He's good at, he's easy to hate.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just a testament to, I think, how good they made his character in here. You know, and I agree with you completely. He could have easily been a wimp and been like, oh, I just like to torture people in my torture chamber, but I can't back any of that up. No. He goes in the line of fire, and he's a sicko.
He's right in front, right here. Too.
Yeah, front and center, because he's going to handle it all, you know?
Yeah, he trusts his like skill, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. See, this part, I mean, you guys go against me for sure, but I blame Jon Snow for his death. For
Why?
sure.
What? He runs in. He can't reach that. Even if he started running,
He can't
now.
reach that. But look, the thing is, he's shooting arrows. Ramsay Bolton's shooting arrows in the sky, and Jon Snow's running head first. Rickon is running away from the arrows. If I was Jon Snow, go right, run left.
You couldn't. You wouldn't.
Move!
You wouldn't be able to.
But I'd still yell with all my goddamn lungs.
Yeah, but
He doesn't like he extends his arm, and that looks cool
dude,
visually.
he went in. He went in.
No,
You
he's
can't
doing,
ask
but
more.
he doesn't do everything. He does 90%. But as soon as I was running left, right.
Maybe that's an acting thing, or maybe that's like a lines thing. But I think just him going head first in.
See, like, he doesn't care. He's awesome. They showed a shot of his second in command in this scene too, and I love that guy as well. That guy's badass.
Like, he doesn't have to do that, and he still goes. That's his fault too. How do you not know the zigzag?
No,
You've
see,
seen
people were
Apocalypto, bro.
people were telling me zigzag. I don't believe in zigzagging. I don't believe in
It
zigzagging.
does work.
It takes you 2 times as long to get to the end of the
No,
line.
it does. But if you hear the arrows,
I don't think he could hear that. I think he could hear Jon Snow
no,
a
you
lot
can
more.
you can hear the arrow leave. You can hear the thunk.
I don't know. I think you'd be able to hear, because sound doesn't travel from back to forward. It travels backwards. So it'd be easier for Jon Snow. See right there, look how close he is. Left. Nope. He doesn't say
He
shit.
also can't see the arrows too. He's going.
He should be looking up,
He
bro.
did his best.
His best would have been yelling at him, telling him what's up.
No.
But now, what's interesting is they didn't show him
Shoot that one?
shoot that one.
Yeah, because
So-
the previous one was supposed to make you go like, oh shit. Because the way it shot, like if you rewind it a little bit to the penultimate shot. A little bit more. Yeah, okay. They make this one look like it's going to hit him. They make the second to last look like it's going to hit him. See, super close shot.
Yeah, it lands like right next to his.
It zooms in, takes
And he
its
has
time.
his hand out. His objective is just to get him as quickly
For
as
sure.
possible. Like he's
It
on
looks
a
like
horse,
that one's
dude.
going to hit him.
You can't.
And it
you
doesn't.
can't go
And
left
then
or
the
right
next
with
one
the
just smacks him.
horse.
But
No, don't go left to right. I'm saying tell his brother.
Yeah, but he's trying to pick him up immediately.
Yeah, but he could still. He's not using his mouth. Tell his brother, move left, move right.
No, but what you're not understanding is the horse can't stop like that on a dime. It's not a car, so he needs to. The decision is, I'm gonna grab him in motion versus, hey, go right. I'll circle around and get you. You know, like he's just.
No,
trying to
I'd
get as
I'd
fast
rather
as
do that.
possible.
I'd rather do that.
But dude, he's
because
riding a horse.
yeah,
Horses
but
can't do that.
No, I'm not telling. His horse doesn't need to do that. Tell his brother to keep goddamn running. Go around his brother if he needs to. Use himself as a human goddamn shield for his little brother.
I mean, you could do all that calculation shit.
I'm
whenever you
just
want,
saying
but he's
he
doing
could have
it
done
in
more.
An instant.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. But
not-
that's what my instinct would have been. That's when he wasn't yelling. I'm like, "What are you doing, bro? You need to give call outs." He was a Rafa at that situation. If I was Jon Snow, you move left.
I wasn't mad at this because Rafa wouldn't even left. He would have watched.
Well, sure, but I'm just saying that. And also, I didn't care as much because Rickon wasn't even in the goddamn
he
story.
wasn't. Yeah.
He wasn't, but I mean, it's a Stark. You know, it's his brother. You find out it's his uncle and his nephew. I guess
His
Yeah,
cousin.
right?
But-
His cousin.
His
Uncle.
cousin.
Uncle. No, he would be.
Who's his cousin?
Yeah, there would be cousins because that was his Ned's son.
That's
Yeah, they'd be
Alana's.
cousins. Yeah,
Liana's.
brother.
I was just gonna say, like, like I said, they don't show him shoot that last one, which makes me think that he was playing around with him, waiting for Jon
Oh,
Snow
yeah.
to get as
Yeah, for
close,
sure.
and then he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna.
He's
I'm
that
gonna
much of
kill
an
him."
asshole.
He
that
is,
He
for
waited
sure.
till he knows his.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice too, he is skillful. You guys saw what he had on his hand?
He had
He had the Rangers, the
yeah.
Archer's glove.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
skillful.
he's the type of guy that wouldn't put on that Rangers Archer's glove unless he knew he
Unless
was
he
good.
knew he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. He is the best villain in this show, because he's easy to hate. He does despicable shit, and he can back it all up.
Yeah.
That's why some of the shots he wasn't even looking
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he's just
because he was trying to miss on purpose, and then the one that he knocked it, lined it up. I know I'm gonna hit him.
he's
right
great.
through the chest.
He's fantastic. Ramsey Bolton's probably is my favorite antagonist in the entire show.
Yeah, looking back at that and all that, probably in agreement with that. That for sure, I agree. And speaking of agreement, I think maybe we'll take another break here, and then prepare for the
last
final season, because
Oh.
it needs its own section. Oh damn! Ooh. Okay, we'll be right back. And we back. Yeah.
You know
Damn, what
nothing,
was
Jon
that?
Snow.
I don't want
Alright.
What was that?
I don't want to be the king.
All right. Game of Thrones. Saison en chang.
Saison 6.
Say what?
We're not even on
Yeah, it's,
we're on 8.
you know, we got to keep it lighthearted because what's the score for this one, Chris? Extian.
For the first time,
the
show's run.
You need some background.
we have tomato rating of 55%. Not certified fresh, and you have that green splat.
That I don't know which one looks worse, the green splat or
the
like
popcorn?
the popcorn
fallen
tipped
popcorn.
The
over.
popcorn tipped
The
over.
fallen popcorn.
With an audience score of a fallen pop. Fallen pop.
They were popped.
Of 30%.
Uh-huh.
The nastiest thing I've seen today.
I saw the popcorn, then didn't see him no more. I was haul assing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the backstory of that popcorn is like you can build up so much, you know, where people running away from something, was something abandoned.
It was
or,
so
you know,
terrible. They left mid
Yeah.
screening and
But-
dropped the popcorn.
But yeah, like it's not enough like to put the popcorn in the seat next to you,
No.
leave it on the floor. No,
It wasn't
something
worth it.
happened to tip it over or knock it over.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean that's my opinion of this season is it was terrible. You know, probably the only plus I had to say is probably 2 pluses. I think the show still looks great. Although there were some really weak points in this season.
the mediocre half hour.
Oh yeah, like the inconvenient evening. Like it was super dark, and I don't think you. I mean, you weren't watching it at that time, but people complained and complained.
I
rightfully
remember
so.
that.
was brutal.
Because you couldn't see anything, and it was so bad. But you know, most of the other season and stuff looked great. The other plus I want to say, regardless of how it ended and all this and that, they did follow through with everything. They capped everything, you know, as opposed to leaving everything on a cliffhanger or whatever. That everybody, you know what's happening to everybody and where they're going to go and what their new title is. And, you know, it's like, hey, this is the ending. Bam, done. You know, they didn't leave you guessing. Again, like, you can disagree and think like, or whatever. That's just where I'm coming from.
For me, this was worse
Ooh, baby.
than Lost season ending.
Oh my!
No, I can't talk about that.
That's
I can't talk
another
about that
thing.
right now.
No?
No, I think I stopped at like 5.
Well, for me, it's worse. And it's,
Don't get me started. I love that show now, so I hate it. We're gonna get
No,
into
Lost
something
is
else.
another one.
Okay,
Lost-
I'll just say this: I hated Lost. No, I loved Lost. Then I hated it, and then I watched it again, and now I love it, and I'll stand by it, and
Yes.
I'll die
Yes.
on that.
See
on
you in
that
another
hill.
life, brother.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not Penny's boat. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But for sure, like,
Yeah.
for me, this season
You all, everybody.
did something that every season before this one worked so hard to do, and this season just said, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna put a cap on it, but it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And it just ruined everything. Like the big outcome, the big payback. Like I don't need a grandiose like victory, or I don't need Dany to become the queen. You know, I don't need any of that. But just the way, like, it's 6 episodes. Yeah, sure, they were a little bit longer, but it's still only 6 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it all just
It
seemed
shows.
rushed. Yeah, and it shows. And for me at least, for something that took so much time, like so many years of our lives, and yeah, not
Your
everything.
lives.
Uh-huh.
It took 5 days.
5 days. But something that a phenomenon, that happened that
Yeah.
we all watch. Most of us
Phenomenon.
watched together, and just to go out like that with a fucking whimper,
A fizzle.
a fizzle, a sizzle in the night, and you couldn't even see one of
In
the
evening.
episodes
In
in
evening,
evening, and one of the episodes was unwatchable. Like
Yeah.
it just it blew my mind, and like you said, it looked okay. But I disagree. Up until once it started hitting at the end, where Danny was flying on the dragons and the Iron Throne, I feel like they ran out of money, or these guys pocketed it because it started looking terrible.
Yeah, I'll just take
But
it.
for me, that's my whole spiel. It just ruined. It ruined and
Yeah.
went like a wet fart, like a whimper in the night, And
Like real quick on that, and I don't mean to interrupt, but one of the things that I hate, what people say, oh, it's just a show, get over it. It's just I've always hated that saying, it's just a this.
Right.
Because that can come down to everything. Oh, it's just this. But like you said, how long was this show on? 8 seasons, so 8 years.
8 years plus.
Dude, it
No, it
When-
was like 9 years because they took,
Yeah, they took
Oh,
a
God.
sabbatical or something like
Yeah.
that.
so you
That's almost a decade.
you
It was a
watch
decade-long
this
show.
you-
Round it up.
Yeah, I mean, and then you start following these characters, and you start caring for them, and that's it means a lot. You can't just dismiss that easily. Oh, it's just a show. No, man, like people devoted their time and lives to this. I mean, really, like there are some diehard fans out there that would get all the merchandise, would go all out and get all the lore, get the books, get the T-shirts, buy the season sets. Oh, I'm a proud I'm gonna wear Stark shirt, so I'm gonna wear.
I'm House. Blah blah.
House.
blah.
Yeah,
Lannister.
yeah, and you know what? That's cool because
cool.
you see yourself in those.
these
Yeah,
in these factions, and it shows too, like you said, like it affected us, but it also affected the actors too. Like you would see the interviews before the season aired.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you guys think? And you would think they were messing around with us because they were making faces or they were like not really wanting to talk about it, and then they show the clip of the actors reading out their lines
Yeah.
and crying
Yeah.
over certain scenes, but also like for this last season, just being visibly upset
Yeah.
with how the show is being written on that last season. It's like even the actors don't like
I
this
mean,
stuff.
especially for them, it literally was their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To devote that much time to anything, hell yeah, that's their life, and to, for their characters to be treated as like, well, we just want to end it already, so we're not going to give your character its due. It's more than a disappointment. It's almost like I'd rather it had ended on a cliffhanger.
Right.
And you know what? Don't finish it, because if this is how you decided to, then I don't know. It's almost not worth it. Maybe I don't know.
It's weird.
But on the other side of that, you loved this season.
I'm gonna take it back real quick to the season before this. You were talking about like how the name sucked and too, but Eastwatch was one of the previous episodes of the last season.
Yeah.
What I'll say is that season and this season do well is it reminds me of the final act of a video game. Like, I mean, me and you have played Mass Effect. And like when it gets to the ending of Mass Effect, you go and you get to talk to your boys and your girls before it ends. And they know it's going to be the end. It's going to be the final mission. So you get to see them in little situations where it's like, hey, Garrus over here is talking to Tally about like how they wish they could make it back. But if they don't, they're cool and they made peace with it. They talk to their fleet. They talk to their people. And you get those sequences in these last 2 seasons because the fodder's dead. All of the fodder is gone. In Eastwatch, what we get in Eastwatch in that episode, we get Jon Snow, we get the dude with the ginger, the badass ginger who loves Lady Brienne. We get the Hound, we get Sir Devos, and we get the leader of the Brotherhood without banners. And they all join forces to go beyond the wall to stupidly kidnap a Draugr.
Right.
But it's cool to just see the fodder taken away and you know, Dan, they're going on a stupid ass suicide mission, but it's everyone you give a shit about. And that's what these last 2 seasons do well, is all the fodder's gone, and everyone who's alive and they're showing matters. There's points where, like, people could like Pip and Gran and all these characters in the Brotherhood or the Night's Watch or whatever, but you're like, if they die, it's fine. It's okay. But here you're like, damn, don't kill him, man. Don't kill him. That's my guy. Don't kill him. And that's how I felt about this thing. Like, you get little interactions in the Inconvenient Evening. Sir Jorah Mormont talks to his niece, the little girl who's in charge of that. And you just get that little interaction between both of them. She's like, I will not lay down my sword. How would I look as a queen not fighting for my people? And it's like, damn, cool. You didn't have to show me that. But that's cool. You had a little interaction with them too. And you just get little interactions with just people you give a shit about. And it's a small thing, but it works. Like, you see Rex talk to Garrus, and it's like, damn, those are my homies. And that's how I felt when I was watching. It's like, those are the people I like. That's cool. They haven't had an interaction that they never had before. So seeing that the last people alive are the only people you give a shit about, and that's the only people that are getting screen time, I'm like, that's cool. I really appreciate and enjoy that. So this season, you know, Bran sucks, for sure.
Terrible plotline.
I am the third Three-Eyed Raven. But weren't you following Three-Eyed Raven? It's kind of hard to understand. Are you going to explain? I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. Shut up,
You wouldn't
jackass.
get it.
Yeah. Jon Snow, you know
I'm in a
nothing.
wheelchair,
I
man.
don't want it.
I
don't
gotta
want
go
it.
now.
So a lot of shit like that is terrible. I think I told you within that. Okay, first off, that Inconvenient Evening episode, you can't see shit, so
Yeah.
that's why it's bad. But we do get a little cool moments in that. I think. I think one of my favorite moments is the Hound is afraid as shit because there's fire everywhere. And it's like, how the fuck do you fight death? It'll fucking kill you. And the Brotherhood without banners is like, try telling her that. And you see Arya Stark is fighting everybody, and she's getting blown up. And then the Hound looks at her and he's like, no, I'm gonna protect my own. And he gets up and he goes to save her. And it's like, damn, what a beast. He might be scared shitless. And how do you scare the Hound? You know, you don't scare that guy.
Unless you use fire.
Yeah, unless you use fire. But he's like, nah, I need to overcome that because I will protect her. It's the same season where he talks to Sansa and he's like, you've been through a lot and I know you have. And then he tells Sansa, like, if you came with me, little bird, you would have never faced those things.
Oh, the callback to season 1.
Yeah, and then she's like,
That was
if
good.
I went with you, I'd still be a little bird. And it's like, damn. And then Circle Game's like, yeah, that's
true.
cool. That's cool. So we have little moments like that. Circle Gain with the Brotherhood without banners. They're fighting to protect Arya throughout that. That's cool as shit. Theon Greyjoy is like doing a last stand with Bran, and he's killing all these people with like bows and arrows, and then he pulls out his spear and he starts killing them all cool. He dies stupid because it's like Bran's like, thank you, Theon. You can leave now. And then
You're a
Theon's
good boy.
"Ah," and then he dies like a.
If
like
he
an
had just
idiot.
waited like a minute, he would have been okay.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because apparently Arya Stark learned how to fly and could catapult herself.
Oh, yeah.
Instant transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
The-
And then the most badass dude in the whole planet, one shank.
One shank. Yeah, that was.
Oh,
He
man.
never pulled out a sword throughout that entire
Just
battle.
spears.
Yeah, that terrible. I don't even remember how.
What happened to the other commanders too? They were equally as powerful, and
No, they didn't come. No,
We
they
got
were all
lost.
chilling behind him.
we all got lost or chilling.
No, there was 5 of them behind him,
Yeah.
and they're like,
These are supposed to be like the
that's right.
King Draugrs, and they're just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
let it happen.
I mean, they like.
And did they
Also-
all disappear?
Yeah, they all died because he died.
Yeah.
There's a scene where the Ice Dragon comes out, and Jon Snow's trying to get to the Night King, and then the Ice Dragon just. And then Jon Snow's like, how do I get this? I know nothing. I don't want it.
Yeah, I remember. Isn't he like on a wall like ah?
Yeah,
and
yes.
the dragon is like, how do I get to him?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm a million feet tall
Or I
and
can
I
break
can
through
breathe.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it just keeps chilling, and then Jon Snow just stands up and goes, ah, and then the dragon goes, ah, and then Arya stabs the Night King, and then the dragon dies, and that's game over. And then Sir Jorah Mormont dies in that and that pitifully too, because he's
Yep.
trying to protect Daenerys, and he's like douche, douche, dude, and he's fighting them all fine, and then Daenerys is like, I'm just gonna chill right here.
I'm good.
Oh, should I help you fight these guys? Nah, I'm good. And then he gets stabbed like 30 times, and then she's like, oh my god, he died. Well, no shit. You ain't helping him out. So yeah, terrible. That episode was terrible. I didn't need no goddamn Arya freaking sex scene. That was disgusting
was
to me.
the
Very
cheeks?
uncalled for.
I didn't need
the
a scene.
cheek show?
I was like, dude, isn't she 12?
She's
Chill.
pretty young in there. Well, she's an adult for that scene, but
So I
even-
guess she was 22 in real life. I had to
Yes.
look it up because I was disgusted.
yeah,
And I was
she
like,
has got
no.
that like little.
She looks like a little kid.
Because we
body.
see her as a little kid growing up.
Right, it's
but-
weird. It's weird from the get go because we see her as a child
Yeah.
growing up. Yeah,
I think maybe I would have felt less weird about it if I grew up with it, but like I saw it all in 5 days too, so I was like,
Yeah.
she's 12.
yeah.
What?
I mean, even putting that like into perspective or whatever, like very uncalled for. I think just there was no reason for it, and even if you did want to show it, you could have done it more.
Pan away.
Yeah, just like okay, I never done this, and then boom, pan away to the moon, and then
Make it
cut
more-
to something
Make
else.
it more. Yeah, like it's like they wanted to. They made it way too sexual for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't even like. I think it was very uncalled for just in her storyline because I feel like she says I am no one. Like that's how she wants to be. I would have even been more fine if Genji was like, if you want to, and she's like, I don't need that anymore. Like I don't need that.
Yeah.
Because she's something
Transcendent?
else. Yeah.
But she
she's-
never got to transcend. She's not no one.
But she is because she uses the faces, and
Right.
even when they
And
ask
she's
her,
still Arya Stark.
I guess, but like even when she has a cool ass fight scene, the season before with Brienne, when she's fighting her and
Right.
she's like, "Who taught you to fight that way?" No one, and that's like, damn, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So it would have been cool if she's like, no,
But you're right. But I think what crosses all that out was her returning to John that one time and returning to Stark, the castle. The club is back.
those I see that happened in the season before, and that's why I like that season.
Yeah.
because she gets to meet John, and then John, man, that's a really good exchange.
That was a really emotional exchange.
Because
yeah.
John turns around and is like, Arya, you sneaked up on me. Like, you've never been able to sneak up on me. And she's like, yeah, and you used to be taller. And it's like, oh shit, brother and sister getting together. They
Yeah,
give a
that
big
was-
ass hug. Like, yeah, that's what's up. So that's why I liked the season before. I think they have a lot of good moments.
It's not that I said the season before was the dumpster fire, but it's where the decline started.
Yeah, I can remember there are good points, but then there's a lot of like, what the
Choppy
heck,
stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty uneven.
You could see. them
I just
losing
think it needs a
steam.
rewatch from you guys. Like, I think it, like, Eminem says in one of his songs, like, they said that Encore was terrible, but they always give me a rating, then they go back and re-rate it. Now they'll in 5 years they'll say Encore is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you need to maybe give it another watch and then see if you hate it as much. I definitely didn't hate it that much, and I'll say the only things I minded from this season was I couldn't see shit during that fight. I didn't need that Arya sex scene, and this one's really just like personal. Is I think the Hound needed a way better fight with the Mountain because I was waiting for that
Clegane
fight.
Bowl.
Yeah, I told what I wanted from that fight. I wanted a badass sword fight. I wanted those swords to break, and then I wanted something like the Hound probably like put oil on himself. He's burning or something, and he's like the only way to kill the zombies is with fire. So he turns into like a living torch.
Some
to-
Batman stuff.
just to
Use
like,
your
cause,
fear.
yeah, use your. He gets over his fear of fire, and he just beats the shit out of
To
the
kill his
mountain
own brother.
while on fire. I think that would have been the perfect. But the way they ended is, "Why don't you die, you bastard?" And then they just fall down, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Again, there's no brutality in that scene.
yeah,
I mean, there kind of is because he starts doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That he did to the Viper, crushing his skull. But like again, something so simple as when he punches the Viper and his teeth come flying out.
Yeah.
Like that to me is brutal. So I wish they had done something like that. Like, yeah, their swords break, maybe a limb is lost, but they keep fighting, going at it.
He
Maybe
should've-
they break an arm.
Oh, since he's a zombie, clearly the brother, the mountain, he should have he keeps trying to kill him and he can't. Light him on fire. That's the
Yeah.
only way to kill him.
Yeah.
That's why, like, burn
Maybe
with
that'll
them.
work. And you got to face your fear. You got to get close to the fire in order to do
Yeah.
that.
Like, when I saw him become, like, a zombie, the mountain, the first thing that I thought of immediately was the Nemesis fight. When you're fighting him in the... What's that place? The waste disposal area?
Dead fact.
The Dead Factory. Remember, like, you're burning him with acid and he's losing
Yeah.
limbs and he doesn't have a head and he's still coming after you. I wanted that with the mountain. Like, if they fall like that, I wanted the mountain to grab Sir Clegane, the Hound's, like, burnt face and rip that
tear
off.
that off, yeah.
It's already delicate. Rip it off. Have his hair and his meat come off. And Clegane's just like, no. No, like, he refuses to die until he kills him.
Yeah.
That's what I want. He's dying, but he needs to kill the mountain before he dies. That's the ending I want. But they just, like, fall off and it's like...
Yeah, it's just, we've seen that before and everything else. Like, it does nothing for me, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't...
It starts off cool and you're just like, they're finally gonna go at it. And they kind of do, and then it's just like, yeah, let's just end it here.
They ran out of steam.
Yeah.
I know you didn't like Jaime Lannister's ending.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
horrendous.
and you know, this is someone we disagree with, but yeah, I hated Jaime Lannister in the beginning. He was a big time jerk, terrible guy.
I love this character.
And then
You didn't like his character?
Well, I'll get into it.
yeah, so they start trying to portray him in a good light. He starts doing good things when he's with Brienne, and I'm like, no, like, I don't want you guys to redeem him. Like, I don't want to like this guy. And yeah, I end up liking the guy and rooting for him and thinking, you know what, he just kind of got put into a bad place. And he's still kind of a jerk, but that doesn't mean he's incapable of good. And then, yeah, I thought he was going to go at it with Cersei, and he goes back with her, and I guess he did love her.
He
and
loves her, bro.
And it's just like that whole ending too, just like,
Yeah, that ending was...
yeah, it wasn't satisfying. You could have gone some other way, and it's just like, you don't have to follow exactly what people wanted on the internet, but it's when people on the internet are writing better endings, there's something wrong,
Oh, what did you think about that?
I love Jaime as a character from the get-go. I've always hated Cersei, but that speaks volumes to her work as an actress.
Yeah, I love
she's
Mama.
great.
You know, she's great in everything.
Mama is a law.
The way, yeah.
I am the law.
The way, the smirk, like her famous little smirk
Yeah.
with a cup of wine. Like,
Shame.
yeah.
Shame.
She's great. And the fact that she outlives her children and that's her biggest pain, the prophecy or whatever comes
Yeah.
true for her. But I feel like she loved Jaime, but I feel like he loved her always more than she loved him,
for
type
sure.
of thing.
For sure.
And that's why at the end you get that lame ending where Jaime's like, well, and you see it with his interaction with Brienne.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Brienne's not Cersei in the looks department, but they get along in a level that like is pretty affectionate.
Oh
but
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end
they're
of the
great
day-
together.
At the
I
end
agree.
of the day, he loves Cersei, and
Yeah.
like that's his downfall. And it's kind of like Ned. His downfall was his honor and his pride, and Jaime's his love. But I don't like the way it ended. But I really liked his arc because it was
Yeah.
like he tries so hard to, not at the beginning he doesn't, but he ends up trying. He ends up getting redeemed. You end up liking him even more because of that redemption arc. But then he also does some sneaky stuff because he loves his family
Yeah.
and his sister, and he's a very gray, troubled character. And it's just like, if he didn't have Cersei and the Lannister name, this guy would be a hero.
No,
This
if he
guy
didn't
would-
have Cersei, he'd be a hero.
Well, maybe it's just Cersei. He'd be a hero.
yeah,
He'd be-
I agree.
He'd be one of the greatest characters, and he's such a badass character. He's the Kingslayer. Nobody else gets that title.
But it's an insult.
It is an insult, but then it isn't, because to them it's an insult, but to like people watching the show, it's like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's the legend killer,
Legend
bro.
killer, bro.
Yeah.
In WWE, that's an insult too, because they didn't want. He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
But to us, it's like, nah, he's the legend killer.
I love Red.
That's what
RKO.
That's what I'm saying. Watch out, watch out, watch out. That's what I'm saying.
The
Like,
Viper.
this guy,
Badass.
this guy's got the coolest names, the coolest look. He's a Chad of all Chads.
Yeah, he's a Chad.
He's got a badass family Valerian steel sword that he gives to Brienne. And then he's also
Oathkeeper.
the Oathkeeper. And he's also got that freaking gangsta bronze hand, you know?
Oh,
That shit's
yeah.
gold, bro.
Oh, it's gold.
Hell yeah,
The-
Lannister gold.
That was intense when that happened.
The pimp slap,
You know
baby.
who chopped him off?
No.
Who chopped it off? It was the guy from Good Vibrations. We're all here for a reason, David.
Oh yeah, that's right. When I saw him, like, hey, why is he in this? Yeah, he's a cool actor. I like him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters just because up and down, but his ending was, I agree to, it's garbage.
It's another one that I think again it fizzled.
yeah.
You know,
It would have been nice to see him like love her, but also at the end realize in that moment that like, hey, I love you way more than you love me, and you kind of orchestrated all this, all our downfall and everything, our children's downfall, and you know what? For that, I'm out. Like in
Yeah,
Shark
it's-
Tank. For that, I'm out. But yeah, what do you think?
So I agree and disagree completely. I think he has one of the best arcs in the show, for sure. But I told you straight up, throughout the entire, he's a piece of shit. I hate him. Like, he's not a good person. He does everything out of self-interest. He's like, he kills his cousin just to try to escape from Rob's yeah, he kills his cousin to try to escape from Rob's penitentiary, his little jail cell. He does every despicable thing of all time,
Get back to Cersei.
just to help
Yeah,
Cersei out.
yeah.
And then who says it straight up in like one of the last, I think it might be like season 7 or 8, but Tyrion is like, you've always known Cersei and you've loved her anyway. And that's true. And when we love somebody, we even love the most despicable. Like we forego their most despicable parts. And he loved her straight up. He knew who she was. He's not an idiot, and he loved her nonetheless. So, like when they try, I told you that he might be the best brother of all time for sure. Like he's the only
Yeah,
one that
he was-
protects Tyrion.
Yeah.
And he's a badass brother. Like, dude, that's an awesome brother. He'll do anything to get you out of anything. Awesome. He'll protect you. He'll be your champion when you do combat by trial. Like, he'll do anything for you as a brother. So, for sure, he's a badass brother. But just because he's a badass brother doesn't make him a good human being. And he's not a good human being.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't.
So, at the end, when, like, Brienne sees him leaving, he's like, I've done some terrible things. I was like, damn right you did. And he's like, I've done hateful things. I'm hateful. Damn right you are. Now go over there and get killed the way you should get killed.
Yeah.
And like, I feel, again, I told you, like, they do a lot of callbacks that in literary, like, it makes sense. They talk about all the time in like season 1 and season 2, season 3, like when they were together, they would say like, we were in the womb together. We will live together. It's me and you against the world. We'll die together. So when they die together in like the catacombs, they're literally like in a womb. And they're buried upon piles of rocks together, holding hands, embracing each other. And they even say at the end, like, it doesn't matter that we can't escape. It's me and you against the world. Nothing matters except me and you. And then they die, and that's like, that is the ending that you guys needed. That's, if you read this in a book, everybody would be weeping. They're like, oh shit, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was the perfect ending for them. Like, that's the ending that I saw for them, and that's the ending I think they deserved. Maybe not the one that we wanted or we needed, but it's the one that they deserved.
Well, they didn't-
and I'm down with that.
I'd be fine with that if they did it like that, though. The way you said it sounds way better than they visually portrayed it. The way they visually portrayed it was weak. And then I think at the last split second, Cersei doesn't want to die.
No, she says that. I don't want to die. I don't want to
yeah.
die.
And Jaime's like okay with it. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not that romantic thing that, like the way you built it up, that would have been perfect if the writers showed us that.
Yeah, I think it could have been directed differently for sure, but I think the ending, like, that's how they should have ended their storyline all along. I mean, I also dig the way that Tyrion finds them, because he, like, kind of crawls up the rocks and he sees the golden hand, and he's like crying already, and he starts, like, digging them up, and he's like, God damn, like, that's my family. And that sucks, man. Like, it does suck. And so I dig that. Dig? Because he's digging them up. But, but yeah, I think that ending was perfect for them.
Right.
I think the end with Tyrion again I think Tyrion needed to die. I think he needed to die.
He fizzled out. They forgot what to do with him these past 3 seasons.
He,
They're just
like you
whatever.
said,
like-
he was a joke.
He was.
He's
joke.
Danny's councilman, like a right hand,
Hand of the
king
king,
of the hand,
hand of the queen.
kind of the queen, but like he's relegated to like just like
He gets Lord
Na'vi.
Varys killed.
Navi.
he's Navi. Hey, listen.
But yeah, he gets Lord Varys. We talked about this.
Yeah,
He betrays his own boy
Yeah.
for no reason.
One of the other, I think Lord Varys remained a cool character.
Yeah, they
And
just
then
didn't know
they-
what to do with him.
They killed him.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with him, so they killed him.
him and
Lord
Lord
Varys
Varys.
was a beast.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with those guys.
But I like the council of the queen or of the king at the end, because we get Sam Tarly as Maester Aemon. We get Sir Bronn, which we haven't talked about, and that's a disgrace because that dude is a beast.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I've always liked his character.
We'll get into another line.
Yeah,
I mean,
will.
it's a
That
lot
guy.
to.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
there's
already. This might be our
have
longest
plot
episode.
lines and
Yeah, he's great, but he becomes Master of Coin, and then we get Sir Bravos as Master of something else.
Master of being
ships.
awesome.
Yeah, that dude is a goddamn beast.
But okay, just to put a cap on this.
We can't. No, not yet.
Like
There's so much to talk about.
I mean, yeah, this is. I think we're an hour and a half.
and that's
in.
how the season failed.
Yeah.
There's so much we still haven't
It's-
addressed, and this
Yeah.
season couldn't even address half.
I'll
of it.
say I like the season. I'll go off and I'll say I disagree with everyone saying the season sucked. I think they did a lot of great things. The final shot of the season does suck because it just Jon Snow walking into the north and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm here."
Okay, that's a big plot hole. Like
how they
what
call
are you
the
gonna
king.
do with him?
We didn't talk about that though.
What do you mean?
How they promoted a new king.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? How they promote?
Like the council.
The
Like
count they were like,
Oh.
we're the most powerful people, and we killed Daenerys. Who's gonna be king? Oh, I guess this guy over here in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
yeah, it's a
that-
good idea.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, like I said, I
And
I
he's
think
like,
this
"Oh,
season
okay."
sucks. And
Why do you think
like
they
I
came
said,
up
yeah,
with
they put a cap on everything, which I like. But
It's half
I mean, it sucks. Like I don't think Bran deserved to be king. Like earlier, he was like, I'm above that. That doesn't mean shit
Yeah,
to me
he
anymore.
was.
But then all
I
of a sudden he
transcended
agreed.
all
Yeah.
worldly
I'm no
things.
Like,
longer
you
Bran
know,
I
that-
used to be.
That's not, some of that stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And, I think maybe one of the disappointing things is that the remaining members, that's going to be right in the audio,
Nice.
the remaining family of the Starks and whatever,
Yeah.
they all kind of just separate. And
They used to be the Cubs.
yeah, well,
Wolf
it's like, they're together, then they get separated because of all the drama. They spend all these seasons apart, but you want them to come together to be a family
Yeah.
again. And they kind of do, but then they just split up. So I'm not saying that's bad, but I think I just trying to say that it's almost bittersweet, like, because that
It is
happens in real life. Like, you're part of a family, and then you have to move on sometimes, and that makes sense. Like Sansa has to take care of Winterfell.
That was bullshit.
Queen of
Jon
North.
Snow,
That's
like
bullshit.
he's gonna go somewhere else. I mean, I don't agree with what they did to him, but he's gonna live his life, and
And he gets his
Arya's
own spin.
gonna.
Who's mad at Jon Snow
Get-
besides the Unsullied?
I don't even think they're that mad.
I mean, that's
Although they
yeah,
were
I-
furious. They were kind of
And then they left.
And they left.
So now you could be like, yo, Jon Snow, come back real quick.
Yeah.
You just should have hid in a
It's
closet.
like they
right?
again,
for
they didn't know
days.
what they were doing. They didn't know what they're doing. We have to send Jon Snow, the hero, away. Okay.
Yeah, for what?
He's
It's-
been
nobody cares.
banging the drum for seasons that the White Walkers are coming, winter is coming. Nobody gave a damn, and when he ended up being right, Oh no, go back because you killed the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible. Well, let me ask. I got like 3 questions to ask. All right. Well, least favorite character.
Least favorite character?
Yeah.
Out of the main, like,
Out of everybody.
Everybody. I don't know.
that's a tough one. But the one that comes to my mind right off the bat for some reason is Sam. I like Sam, but the reason I can't, like, he's cool, he's a maester or whatever, and that was his thing, and he got it. But what I didn't like about him, like, he gave away that badass fucking bear claw sword away for nothing. His family owns a Valyrian steel sword.
Yeah.
I think it has a bear.
He gives it to Jorah. No, he doesn't.
He gives it to somebody.
He gives it to Jorah Mormont
to fight that night.
that night. Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also like, dude.
From what I remember, he could have done more with it,
Yeah.
and it's kind of just like,
Whatever.
here's the sword, and then it kind of.
Plus, he was always useless. He's like, oh, Jon Snow.
He kills the first White Walker.
He does, but by accident. And then he's like, oh, Jon Snow. But it's also like, dude, own it. Become the maester. Be the guy who creates these cool. Well, he does the.
He becomes maester.
I think he does
at
the
the end.
Blackfire bombs too. I think, or the. I think at one point in time he devises. Remember, like the bombs or whatever like that. Either way,
He does take off Sir Jorah Mormont's stone skin. That's shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's cool.
yeah.
But I feel like he was just like there, and like he could have been a lot cooler. And then what I know now about the High Towers with Otto Hightower and the Citadel and all that stuff.
I still need to watch a little bit.
Well, what we know with that now, I'm just like, dude, you could have been much cooler, and it just. He seems like the one where you could have lopped him off.
Yeah.
The show would have kept. Going.
Yeah. Real quick on that, he's felt like the stereotypical like dorky guy that sticks with the cool dude at lunch, befriends him, and
survives.
yeah, we've seen that. But like you said, I would have liked to see him come into his own and be like confident. Like, you know what, like your thing is more fighting, and my thing is
Science,
more
medicine.
science and learning how to combat.
Yeah,
that
I didn't have
kind of
anything
thing,
with
but-
the actor. He's a great actor. It's just his character just
Yeah.
never really did anything. And then for me, that's like probably the worst sin you could do in the show. Like you just don't do anything.
Just
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean,
Least favorite.
I'm trying to think. Again, I haven't seen the show in a long time, but I think whenever the guy that Melisandre was with and Davos was with,
Stannis
Stannis
Baratheon?
Baratheon.
I think I don't think
I
I,
like that
cared
guy a
for
lot.
him. From what I remember, I just feel like he was always
a
whiny.
jerk.
Yeah, he was a jerk, and
He was whiny.
it's just like, oh, I want to be king.
I want to
and
be king.
like yeah, we get it, dude. But I think from what I remember, it was just kind of.
No, if you want to read some, I don't know if you can take it.
Yeah, I felt like his story kind of. He was always like, Melisandre, what do I do? What do I do? And can we do this? And plus, yeah, he was despicable. I didn't
It was
like
one of
him.
those characters who never owned his
um,
destiny.
So again, nothing against the actor or anything. That was his character.
I don't
but-
think any of the actors did a bad
but-
job. Some were written poorly, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I think that was. It was just boring. Not that I hated the character or whatever, but I think it was just boring. Whenever it cut to
He
him.
could have gone and attacked King's Landing or wherever the hell he wanted to go. He could have done it. He just didn't.
Or wait a minute, what? No, now that I think about it, what about that other Greyjoy?
Dion?
No, the uncle, right?
Yeah, the uncle. Okay,
Yeah, I hate that
no, he okay.
The uncle was
Changed my mind. The one that came out of nowhere and
and ruined everything for
Yeah,
them and then
yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was terrible.
But I think that was, again, season 7, 8.
yeah.
They just stopped writing about him.
He
Yeah.
came out like 6 though. It was 6 through 8.
Right, but
No,
they
6
never
through-
capped
yeah.
it, I think. Or
Wait,
they
he's-
did. He's like, the sister, like, defends Dion, gets him, right? And then that's it. That's it with that. Like, it's done. And it's like, I think that's just a writing limitation. But I think the acting was kind of cool.
I think he did a great job with what he was given, but his character
His
was
character
terrible.
was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
what he was
Is that
given
is that
was
what
not
you're leaning
much.
towards?
So I think it's a 3-way tie between that guy, Theon Greyjoy,
Oh.
And that stupid maester who was helping out Cersei in the beginning, who's like also a pedophile.
All
Yeah.
the old pedals, Maester.
Yeah, I think they were all terrible. Theon Greyjoy, like everyone's like, oh my god, I feel so sorry for him being tortured. Motherfucker, he killed innocent children.
Right.
He tortured people, like, well, maybe not torture people, but he would kill innocents, and he had no loyalty to anyone. Like he would he's a flip flop.
I mean,
for sure. And like, you know, I didn't give a shit if he got tortured, dude. You did the most idiotic decisions. Right. You deserve death.
Well,
and
I mean,
you know what?
What about before that though?
What do you mean?
The whole reason why he's with the Starks, like it's got to be, like, not to defend him. I think the actor did a great job with whatever thing.
I hear he's a jerk in real life too.
Oh man,
Damn.
okay. Well, if he's a jerk in real life, fuck him. But
No more swearing.
sorry, my bad. What he did in the what happened to him in the beginning? Why is he with the Starks?
Because his dad was an idiot.
Well, that too, but like
There was some sort of agreement.
How-
Like,
Yeah,
they lost.
The dad lost the war because he backed
So
the
he gave his
Targaryen.
son.
So he's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
all my
much,
bad.
How
Here.
much? How would you feel though? Like you would never feel involved, and I think he talks about that too. It's like you, Jon Snow, you were a Snow, but I was never even that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
was-
someone comes up to him and tells him this, and it's like, dude, it took you that long to figure it out. And I think it was Bran or something, or it might have been his sister. And she's like, you're 100% a Greyjoy, and you're 100% a Stark. Dude, you're the best of goddamn both worlds. You're a Stark, and you're an Iron. What do the dead do, Christian?
they don't die.
Boom! That's hottest. So the dead don't die,
I told
and
you,
we don't
That's why
sow.
I like them. I was like, that's one of my favorite like house phrases.
Yeah.
And their banners are freaking cracking.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
we
awesome.
don't sow because we don't build shit. We steal shit. We
Mm-hmm.
get shit. That's hot. Plus, you're a Stark. The goddamn direwolves. The winter is coming. Like, you're not only the craziest marauder type family, but you're also one of the most honorable. We know how to handle shit type family. Love both worlds of that.
We're
I mean, it's
coming-
hard.
We're coming up on 42 minutes.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
I mean, if you wanna put a cap on
No,
it,
no,
I mean, it do matter because it's already one.
Rapid fire question. What's the last ones or last two?
Okay, fine. Best cameo. Do you guys know any? Yeah, cameos of characters that you're like, oh shit, he came out. We had real quick. So we had Ian McShane came out
Oh yeah.
for an episode. The guy from John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
We had Ed Sheeran come out.
Ugh.
We had the badass guy from The Witch. Oh, I talk like this
yeah.
because
He
I'm
has a great
badass.
voice.
That
yeah.
guy probably.
We had the guy from Good Vibration or from Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
Oh, everything happens for a reason, David.
Yeah.
We had Mr. Echo come out.
Oh, he did?
He came out from Lost.
Yeah.
Mr. Echo came out. I had a BC. What's his name? I forgot his name. He has a badass name. He came out. He sold Ser Jorah Mormont and Tyrion to the slavers. And he's
okay.
like, oh, you're a funny man. We need to cut off your dick because a midget's dick is worth a lot. And it's like, what the hell? Well, yeah, Mr. Echo was in there. I'm like, let's go, baby.
Yeah, he's cool.
So yeah, best cameo. Those are the ones I remember at least.
I don't know. I don't have any opinion.
Fuck
I-
Ed Sheeran. He goes down to the bottom.
Mr. Echo's mine. But okay, so I had that one. So disappointing end for everybody?
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then I guess I had least and favorite character arc.
I don't know. Damn, yeah, it's. But you see, this is where I'm coming from with that now. Like I was telling you earlier that I was watching the show, liking it, and then season 7 and 8 happened, and it ruined everything. And to me, it's kind of like now I know what happens, and it sullied almost the
Unsullied.
entire show. Yeah, I am Grey Worm. You
Token
know,
noodle.
to the point where House of the Dragon didn't even come out yet, and I was like, who cares about
Same.
it? Who cares about House of the Dragon if we know how it ends?
It ends horribly.
Yeah, it's like, it's like for me the equivalent of Star Wars. That I love the Mandalorian show. I think it's the best Star Wars show.
Since Return of the Jedi. Or the best Star Wars since anything since Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, live action, the best live action one. And I really like it, but the thing that sullies it is knowing that it leads into the sequel trilogy. And I really think those are crap. So I feel the same way with Game of Thrones.
Book
Is
of Boba
that
was pretty bad.
it just
I liked it.
it just like the arc goes into these seasons, so it doesn't work for me. That's where I'm coming from.
So
Bad ending.
bad ending.
Bad ending.
So bad ending. Least and favorite and least favorite arc. Least favorite arc.
Oh yeah.
Arya Stark.
Least favorite arc?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had the greatest potential. I daydreamed about that, and that's why I hate it the most. I could be like, people can disagree all they want, but I daydreamed about like what
The
is
possibilities.
the possibilities of no one and all this other stuff. And fine, you're not gonna go through with that, but what are you gonna make out of that? And just the mystique of all that, and just for it to flop and do all that, nah.
But she ends up going west of Westeros.
Yeah, but then that's like that's like Jon Snow's. Well,
To the north.
he's going to the north. What's in the north? So again, at least Jon Snow, I know this is who he is. Arya's kind of like more fantastical, more Lord of the Ringsy, and you're gonna end it like that? Nah, get out of here. For me, that's my word. That hit me the most. Best arc, they're all pretty. For me, they all like the last 2 seasons. They all end up pretty bad for me, but I'm just happy, I guess, for not Jorah. What's his name? Davos.
Devils, yeah.
I think he.
You're not
works out
happy
for
with
him.
Braun? That's your guy, bro. He becomes Master of Coin.
Braun's awesome.
And he gets Highgarden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with Braun, but I
We
just
didn't
feel
talk
like
about Iron Fist or Marjorie dying either.
yeah.
I mean, that's why there's so much. I mean,
There's so much stuff. I just feel Braun is. I always knew he was gonna get.
That's you,
I always
bro.
knew he was gonna
That's
get.
your character.
But the thing is, like, Davos, Braun did the right thing all the time, and like, he always watched out for himself. Plus, he could fight. I feel like Davos never really like.
He's not a fighter.
He's just not a fighter, and that's why his story is so freaking epic. Because he gets to that point without killing almost nobody.
Yeah.
And to do that while being a nice guy overall, it's insane.
I think that I was happy about that.
Yeah.
That he's a legit good character and he made it. You know, we get a legit character coming through. In
That's
there.
why he's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's awesome. Arya Stark, I agree. I told my brother that Arya Stark's arc is like, it has the most potential because you're like, damn, she's gonna be no one. She's gonna become all that. And then her whole arc throughout season to season, like, who's gonna take care of me today? Who's gonna Sir Clegane, you're gonna take care of me? Oh, now no one's gonna take care of me? Oh, who's gonna like, she kept going over and people kept caring for her. I'm like, man, you suck. You suck. You could have been you could have been Samurai Goddamn Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't that. So, that was ass for sure. Sir Devos, I agree. I think he had the best arc because he goes up and down. You think he's gonna die? They imprison him a couple of times. You're like, damn, he's gonna eat shit because he made Gendry leave and he saved all these people and he did the honorable thing, but he's gonna die because he did so. But no, he ends up making it all the way, and he's even him at the end when they're picking a king. He's like, I don't think I have the right to say to pick a king, but I'll say that's great. That's a great pick. He knows that he's humble even in the face of that. You survived everything and you're still goddamn humble. So I love that. I also like Gendry. I think Gendry got a good ending too because when I first saw him as like a bastard of Baratheon in the first episode or in the first season, I'm like, they're gonna kill him off. He's done. He's just a blacksmith. He's gonna die. And he survives. And then the Melisandre gets him and you're like, oh, he's gonna die
He's
here.
gonna die.
And he survives because Sir Devils is a boss. And he saves him. And then he comes out to be Lord Baratheon. And it's like, you need a stag. You need the House of the Stag to stay alive. And he stays alive. And he becomes that
Did
Lord.
he ever get the Warhammer?
Yeah. He made his own Warhammer. He starts beating the shit out of
I would have
people.
liked him
Oh,
to get
yeah.
his dad's Warhammer, though. That would have been epic.
That
'Cause
would've
that's
been
the
cool.
Warhammer that smashed the breastplate of the Targaryen relation.
Yeah. The one that raped
quote unquote raped. Yeah.
Oh.
Dorn.
He had a ruby Targaryen crest on it, and they fought at the river on a riverbed, and he got him, I guess. And when he smashed it, they described it as like all the blood.
Oh.
Yeah,
rubies.
he's like, I remember when I was strong, I smashed. Yeah, badass. But I like that because he's a blacksmith, so he made
he's
his
gotta
own.
make it.
And like, I dig that. Like, that's cool. So I like Gendry's ending, and I like Sir Davos' ending. I think they both ended like they're both good people, and they got what they deserved.
Yeah.
So I'm down with that. I think that was great.
I don't know. Closing thoughts or
I thought the ending was fine too. The last shot sucked because it's just Jon Snow walking into the north. Yeah, lame. But I thought the last season was fine. I think everyone needs to chill out and rewatch the last 2 seasons in succession.
Well, I mean, and to that, that's fine. But you were in a journey that was like maybe a year in the making. We were in a journey for a whole.
Oh yeah, I
decade.
watched it in 6 days.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
So it's got
gonna
it
be
hurts you
different,
way
yeah.
worse.
I agree. I agree. Like that's why Breaking Bad sucks ass. But no, I mean yeah, for sure. But I think
Would you say it's the worst construction wise? Like, would you say it's not one of the better seasons, right? Would you say it's
I think no. I think
like
so.
the way they like constructed it all and gave it to you?
I feel like the last 2 seasons knew that they were gonna end, so they tried to finish everyone's ending, and they said, screw a lot of filler. We're just gonna show what matters. Because I remember telling you guys, like you at least, like, man, this season sucked. Nothing happened. We all started and ended where we started. Like, nothing happened because they want to keep making more. And that's how I felt in a lot of prior seasons. And this one is like, we're gonna end it, so we're just gonna cap it. And it made everything more intense. Everyone's gonna die. You're gonna lose people. That sucks. I would have been more pissed, if I had to wait week per week, year by year, and like there was a hiatus. I would have been pissed, probably.
Yeah, that's...
But the thing is, watching it in succession, watching it as a whole, I'm like, they do callbacks in season 7 and 8 to season 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That I'm like, damn, I just watched that not too long ago, so I caught that, and that's pretty good. And I dug that. Like, that's cool. So I'm saying, like, if you watch it, if you sit down and have no life and watch seasons 1 through 8,
Right.
I think it's like, dude, you know what? That's good. It's a good time.
Right. But I feel like you have to, in this circumstance, it was a show that came out timed. You have to judge it by that.
I mean, I'm gonna disagree with that.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, you can watch whatever you want, however you want to.
Right.
But yeah, I can tell you, this burned me in a way that I don't think I'm going to go back. I didn't enjoy what happened, and I don't see the point of going back. You say, like, give it a rewatch, and it's like, you know what? I just don't feel it. I don't care anymore. There are certain things where I think, like, oh, maybe I didn't play that right. Maybe I didn't watch that correctly. But you know what? If it didn't catch me the first time, like, I'll say this. I'm not gonna say I'll never rewatch it, but I can see I don't have any
You'll
need
be
to.
like,
Yeah. Like, I can change my mind later, but it's just...
This is such a time sink, too. Like, it's not something you can just say, hey, I'm going to dedicate another...
No, for sure. That's
50
what I'm saying.
hours.
If you have no life and you got, like, time to spare... Like, look, I'll tell you this, like... And this is, like, off topic, I guess, but World's End, the ending of the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and...
what's his name? Baby Driver, director.
Yeah, what the hell is his name?
Yeah.
It's a badass name, but that guy, sorry, I can't remember your name.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna get upset.
Yeah, he is. But I thought The World's End sucked when I first saw it. I think I took you and Jesus and Ralph to watch it at the theaters. And I was like, man, this movie is not good. Now I think it beat out to me, and this is insane to say, I think it beat out Shaun of the Dead. Like, I watched that movie a lot more. I'm like, damn, this gets funnier and funnier and funnier every single time I watch it. And, dude, like, it's a great movie. Who's the director?
Patty can't.
No,
No.
Petty Considine is the guy from World's House of the Dragon. It's the dad.
Damn, yeah. Not gonna-
Director Edgar Wright.
Edgar
Edgar
Wright.
Wright.
Yeah, he's the guy who did Ant-Man and Baby Driver and a couple of other things. But yeah, I think World's End is fantastic now. I didn't like it the first time, but I was like, I need to rewatch it because maybe I missed something. And I did. I missed everything. That movie's fantastic. I'm not saying Game of Thrones is fantastic, but I think it does need a rewatch. But I do feel the way you guys feel about it. Like, that's how I feel about Breaking Bad. Do I ever want to rewatch Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I don't. The first 3 seasons are fantastic, and then they can eat shit.
yeah.
But Mandine loves Breaking Bad, so
See, I
Bobby
mean-
loves Breaking Bad.
Like, like we were talking about Lost earlier, and I hated it, you know. And one of the reasons I hated it was like I always wanted the next episode. Like, I want answers. I want to know what happens, and they always wasted time, and I got to
Yeah.
wait a whole year.
The
and,
Dharma Initiative.
You know, yeah, it was all.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was exciting, you know, but like just for the sake of time, I gave up on that show. Years and years and years later, I asked Katrina if she wanted to watch it, and we ended up watching it together. And like I said, I love that show now, and because I didn't have to wait episode, I just binge watched it, and I do love it. I'll stand by that show now. But yeah, it was a very, very frustrating experience when it premiered.
But that back to that even though I love that show like you, I binged it as well. I still recognize that last season and that finale are really like lackluster, and they're really like okay.
There are some things.
You
I
know?
mean, yeah. I mean, from what. But that's another. That's
a
another
whole
topic
nother-
for another
I think
day.
That's another beast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We go 2 hours on that too.
That'll
I mean-
be a whole 24.
I binged this. We also kind of binged The Wire as well. And,
Yeah.
like, I will stick by this. I will die on the hill, on the mountain, on the valley, whatever. That The Wire is the best show of all time. Period. And, like, we binge watched it, so we didn't have to wait. But I think if I had to wait, I'd still be satisfied with that show.
Yeah. It's funny because I just rewatched the whole thing again.
Yeah.
And I still love the show, but there are certain things that I was like, I don't like that. And I felt dirty. I felt dirty thinking that. So I don't know. Maybe you should give that a rewatch.
I did.
because
I
there-
rewatched it again
Oh,
like
you
last
did.
year. Yeah. Well, I'll rewatch it again.
Yeah.
I
Well-
love that show. I mean, perfect show.
Well, we have like 3 minutes, almost 2 minutes left. Thank you for joining us. If you've listened this far, thank you. We love you.
Not as much as season 8 of the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and thank you, Christian, for joining us. We hope to keep doing this
My pleasure.
with different guests. With you coming back, this is your second episode with us.
Yep.
We're at Christian's pad right now too.
Yeah.
So thank you for hosting us.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you for the corner bakery snacks.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you to your wife.
Anytime.
She's not here, but thank you if she listens to the podcast. And thank you. We'll see you guys next time.